Welcome to Sports and Stogies. Now, introducing your hosts, Cameron Winkowitz and Austin Hayes.
Formal intro today. Go ahead and pull up that chair, pour up that drink, and light that cigar. For episode 77 of Sports and Stogies, Cam, give us the serious news here to start off.
Way to exclude me from the intro, by the way. I don't like that.
Well, we never go back and forth with just two of us.
Yeah, well, and I excluded you from some information today, too. So,
I wouldn't say excluded. Just received later.
I didn't run it by you first. I just made the Facebook post.
Hey, it's your show.
But as many of you know, if you've seen the Facebook post before this week's show, Shane is no longer with us.
He's alive. He did not die in a house fire, thankfully. But it's no longer on the show permanently.
Yeah, the schedule's too hard for him to juggle, so he didn't want to keep letting us down, I guess is kind of how he put it, even though we get it and we're not let down.
He's doing much more important work.
Playing Xbox in a firehouse is...
He has the potential to do much more important work.
But as you guys also read, that does open up guest spots on the show. So, we're going to be working out the kinks as far as how often. I think we could go as often as we have one. But we'll see.
I don't want to do every show, but 2 a month, I like. Every other, maybe. Or just, depending on how their schedules line up with ours, too. I know we got a few guys that already, quote-unquote, applied.
Yeah, I'm going to make like a Google form to kind of give us information to change how we do. Like, if you're a Bears fan, maybe we have a lot more Bears topics or look into Bears news a little bit more.
Well, of course, we'll discuss with the guests pre-show, what they want to cover and their fandoms and make it catered more towards them.
Yeah, but we will be able to do that on a Google form, too. And we can have the information beforehand to prep properly.
It's probably guys we already know also. So.
That's also true.
Well, before we forget, who is this episode brought to, or brought in from? Brought to us by?
Brought to you by?
Yeah, but it's not brought to you. Brought to the audience by.
Yeah, this episode is brought to you by
All Things Fitness, which is my business. I'm Evan Keeton, a certified personal trainer. And if you want to contact me for any personal training or fitness classes, it is 937-308-6324. Email is allthingsfitness15@gmail.com. And website is allthingsfit.org.
That is exactly what the card says. Didn't even need the card either.
And you can give like semi-nutritional advice. We're not lying about that, right?
No, that's true. I actually have a client in this past week. He started meeting with a nutritionist, and she was actually very shocked about how much information he knew. And he was like, well, I have a personal trainer. He tells me everything. I just don't do meal plans.
That's fair.
That would be like Shane saying for the first 10 weeks that there were videos. We've been saying it since the first read that, he can help with nutrition also.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that's actually true.
Have you thought about doing videos on the website?
I actually told Austin earlier, I was like, as soon as I heard that there might be a video on my website, I should probably just post one just for Shane, automatically. I haven't done it yet, but I might.
That's pretty funny.
In full Richard Simmons garb.
Oh, totally. Whole neon, hot pink.
Yeah. I told him that he can just look at your Instagram because you post videos on there of you doing curls and stuff.
I do.
I'm like, there you go. Like his personal one, not the All Things Fit. Although you might put him on there too. I'm not sure.
Not currently. Right now it's mainly just business, kind of pushing the website, pushing mailing list, stuff like that. Just kind of keep it more professional. But yeah, my personal one, I try to put as many as I can. Recently I got sick for a couple weeks and then I could not post anything. So I'm getting back into that probably next week.
Yeah, I mean, that's good. You don't want a guy like me being your personal trainer.
Not ideally, no. Well, thanks for coming in, for being our first guest post-Shane.
For sure, I appreciate it.
Off the bat, how do you feel about being on mic and hearing your own voice in your head?
Being on mic, it does not bother me. Hearing my voice is weird, but being on the mic, no, I used to have a YouTube channel, and it was fun, so I'm used to talking. I talk to people all day long, too, so...
Part of your job, yeah.
Yeah, but hearing myself is definitely weird.
Well, it sounds silky smooth. Everybody sounds pretty good on these mics.
Yeah,
I mean, we got Shane to sound pretty decent, so...
Yeah, we did.
I want your background, though. Sports-wise, and also how you started your business.
All right, what do you want first?
We played basketball together.
We did in 8th grade.
8th grade. So you guys go way back.
Yeah.
I've known Cam since 5th grade.
1 to 10, how good of a baller is Cam actually?
Well, when we played in 8th grade, we didn't have a ton of playing time, to be honest.
No, we didn't.
They played the starters most of the game, but practice, man, it was fun. But if we talk like street ball, oh my gosh, Cam's on my team every time.
I've heard some great stories.
As long as I get to pick first, yeah, Cam's on my team.
You guys should be captains against each other. It seems like too good of a duo to have together.
There's only one other duo that's better, and it was him and Allen. So they were always the captains.
Yeah, we play like 2v3 and we win.
Whoa. So you're a baller.
I only played about twice last year, so I need to get back into it.
He's a good floor general, and he drives hard.
He stole driving from Pete Maravich?
Yes.
Wow. So you're an Alex Caruso type.
I definitely like shooting the 3-2. Definitely. Catch and shoot more. I'm not the type
He
of
is very shooting school form, too. Everything's square. The flick is perfect square.
I can see
it's
being
right,
a
it's right
fitness
in the,
instructor.
It's right in the
Yeah.
center. Yeah,
He does everything by the book.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I taught Trey how to fix his form a little bit. And that was kind of like one of the pre-things before I ever became a trainer. I was like, I could coach somebody to do something.
We're going to add in jump shooting classes to the website.
That'll be the first video. Video.
So what you really want to do is you want to make sure your elbow's here. I couldn't do that. I couldn't make instructional videos.
The best acronym I can give you is BEEF. Balance, elbow, eyes, follow through.
See, that's Coach
Beef,
Beef right
dude.
there.
Beef.
Coach Beef.
Beef.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beefer.
Yep.
And then fandom-wise, I know you're a Cavs guy.
I am a Cavs fan. As far as NFL goes, I'm a Packers fan. I will
Get the
watch.
hell out of here.
I will watch the Bengals. Yeah, I know. It's still too soon for you.
It's not. The next day, I was over it.
Yeah, but I do watch the Bengals just because I'm from Ohio. But Packers are my team. As far as baseball goes, I grew up a Yankees fan. I watch the Reds because I'm in Ohio, but I've been a Yankees fan since I was born. Watching with my dad. Other than that, I don't really get outside of football, basketball, and baseball.
No UFC yet.
No, even though there is a question that I have an answer to about UFC.
Okay.
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 We'll be later.
We'll get there.
Yeah, but
That's called a
Fair enough.
tease. That's a natural
That was a good
radio personality right
Yeah,
there.
that was a good one.
But yeah, UFC is interesting. I've seen some fights. I'm just not necessarily into it as much as other people. College-wise, I'm an Ohio State football fan, but when it comes to basketball, I'm a Duke fan. And
I knew you were going to say Duke, too.
Cam and I have
I've
had a
got
lot
a
of
lovely
conversations.
video
It's clipped.
on record, dude.
It's clipped. It's from sophomore year of high school. It's clipped. You could tell it's clipped.
Allegedly.
He told me straight to my face Duke was better than Kentucky.
This year.
Or Kentucky was better than Duke.
Yeah, in that season.
Yeah. Nope, that wasn't in
That's
the
a hard thing
video.
to admit.
Yeah.
Hard thing to admit.
But for sure, business-wise, though, it kind of all started. My grandpa was my first client, and I wanted to help him get in shape, get healthier, and I didn't really know the best way to. I just know that I'm very motivated to help somebody, and I started off like I'm not going to get into financials, but like beginning, I only made like $10 a week, and I thought it was a good idea, and I've been doing it for almost 4 years, and it's grown exponentially. So, yeah, I've trained over 20-something people.
I mean, it's your full job now, right?
It is. Well, at the time, too, when I started training my grandpa, it was my full job. I make
gotcha.
$40 a month
Okay.
thinking it was a good idea. And at the time I was in a relationship, I was going through college. Like, I thought it was a good idea.
That was something you loved and were passionate about, too.
It is. And, I do take personal training very seriously just because when I was in high school, I used to play football. I got hurt after my freshman season, weightlifting.
Would have gone pro otherwise.
I don't know with my
He was
height.
a really good football player.
I was good.
He was a natural athlete.
I feel like
could tell.
all your friends are actually good athletes.
Well,
Like
I was,
Gavin,
I was a
Gavin was a baller.
relatively good athlete.
Yeah, Cam was good. Cam was a
Don't
good
be so
athlete.
modest.
He's a good athlete.
You're too
but
modest.
I've let myself go since, but I can
We've
still-
all had some.
I can still get
post-retirement.
down on a half court setting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I got hurt weightlifting in after football season, and I had poor instruction from a coach. I was squatting 285. First one, I went down, good form, and then he was like, "Go lower." So I'm going lower, and I felt uncomfortable doing it. And then he's like, "You got another rep in you." So this was my max too at the time. So I went my next rep, and I felt something move, and it was just a muscular injury. But I never got back to sports,
Yeah.
and then until I started working out again, now I'm good, but it took a while to get back. So I don't want anybody to ever get hurt working out if I could prevent it. So that's definitely something that I try to make sure is in my training safety.
Yeah, it's so easy to do, just in a snap of a finger. You can blow your knee out or pull your pec.
And there's like a proper way to push people too.
For sure. I find the best way is I've developed a lot of good relationships with my clients, just kind of like good rapport. And I try to just be as friendly as possible. I push them, but a lot of the time I kind of do like a reverse psychology type of way. I'm like, oh yeah, you don't got that. I'm like, just sit it down. Then it kind of motivates me. Oh, I got this. I work with a lot of older people too, so
Yeah.
pushing them's hard, especially because they.
A younger dude telling you not to do something is an old dude's kryptonite, dude.
Oh,
That's actually genius.
I try that a lot. I have one particular client. I call him my uncle. I've been training him for 3 years. Me and him have a very good relationship. We are very verbally abusive to each other, but it's great. And I tell him all the time, you can't do anything. He proves me wrong every time. So pretty good. But yeah, for sure, I enjoy training. And classes just started. Well, I developed them in November. I'm starting to get more and more business with it now. I've had a lot of family and friends come and support, but now I'm getting outsiders, so that's nice. I actually have an opportunity to go to, because I do it at my church, and I have an opportunity to go to a different church. I found out today, and the pastor there is like, I want to possibly have you here. We have people here. I'll even give you compensation if nobody shows up. Like, he wants me to be there.
That's awesome, dude. That's great to hear.
That's sweet.
Yeah, pretty exciting.
Glad we could help, man.
Yeah, I'm for sure, dude.
I don't want to take all the credit, but S&S has gone a long way.
I agree, man. I agree.
No, we were stoked to have an actual advertiser when we first got you on.
Oh, it's his favorite thing.
And now we have two.
I
do.
saw that Wonka, right?
I didn't mark
Yeah,
down
Wonka
a
Frenchies.
mid-roll, so let's not forget that later.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right, well, before the fan cues here, Cam, what are you puffing on tonight?
Got the Blood Moon Colt, Red Moon, or it's
It's
always
like 9
it's
words.
worded weird. It's like Blood Red Colt Moon or something like that. So I just say what makes sense to me.
Oh, it sounds better.
It's all the same words.
Yeah.
You could easily look it up and it'll take you exactly this, but it's like that chocolate covered strawberry kind of with a little bit of vanilla. It's delicious.
I will say, Evan, your clothes are probably going to smell.
That's all right.
Of course, being with a pipe especially. Doesn't cling as long, but more powerful smell.
Yeah.
But it smells better. It doesn't get
Smells
stale.
Delicious. Yeah.
So part of the reason why I switched to pipe is because the smell that lingers, one, it dissipates before it gets stale.
Yeah.
So cigars, that just sticks.
Oh, for sure. This room will never be the same again. I've got this month's LCA, the Steamboat, the 6x50 with a apparently very rare Ecuadorian Habano Maduro wrapper, a Jamaican binder. I don't think I've ever had Jamaican tobacco before. That's pretty unique. And then Nicaraguan fillers. Of course, with the whole Steamboat Willie thing going to public domain, that's the ban.
Of course.
Because he said, why not jump on it? Everybody else is. So a very dark wrapper, which of course is right up my alley. Excellent burn so far. A little tight on the draw, nothing crazy though. And then flavor-wise, dark, rich, chocolatey, very smooth, and light on the palate.
Nice. That's odd for a Maduro, but I'm here for it.
And I think these ones are aged for a year and a half, give or take. And then beverage-wise, shout out, friend of the show, Spencer Neubauer, for a very generous gift. It's a local distillery, A.M. Scott, in Troy. Opened up in 2022. Let me get you to pour that there. This is their 7th year. Of course, sourced from MGP. At least I would assume. It's 116 proof, non-chill filtered. For a new distillery to already have a 7-year, pretty rare. He talked to her for 30 minutes, their marketing rep. I'd love to go in and lay some groundwork for an interview, maybe a tour at least. The actual juice itself, I'm a fan.
It's really good.
It is hot, but I get cherry, a lot of cherry, definitely floral, a little bit of caramel. I love that, the longer age and higher proof stuff is
It's right up your alley, especially
the go-to.
The wagon style unchill filtered or non-chill, however you say that, uncut, unfiltered. It is really good.
So again, thank you, Spence, for the generous gift. And hopefully next show we will have our new Riff barrel pick.
Yeah.
I think I'm actually going to pick that up Saturday.
Cool.
I'm finally going to Century.
Dude,
That is drop day, and I think Century is a drop location.
nice. That's where the Gym City Bourbon Society does a lot of their
Yeah,
drops.
remember Troy talking about that.
But dude, it's the coolest bar.
I can't wait.
You're gonna want that to be your new regular spot.
I believe it.
And it might be.
At least once a month.
I mean, it's the exact. I mean, their windows are covered. It's lounge light setting, like old school speakeasy bar vibe. And the best part about the drops is, you just go, you walk in, you say, I'm with the Ohio Cigar Mafia, and then they just point to the back, and you just walk to the back,
Yeah.
dude.
Feel like a pimp.
So cool.
Yeah, I can't wait. Me and Mike hitting that up, of course. All right, fan question. We have one today. And let's start with Mr. Evan. What is the actual hardest sport?
For my answer, I actually put 2, based off of 2 different things. If we're going like physicality, UFC. You get paid to take a beating, all the training
MMA.
you do,
Yeah, MMA.
for sure. But if we're going off like difficulty, baseball.
I think the single hardest thing in sports is hitting a round ball with a round bat and squaring it up.
100%.
Yeah, I would have to say probably baseball or golf.
I was leaning towards golf, especially because it looks so easy. And if you guys
Baseball looks easy too. But
I think overall,
golf probably looks easier because you never see a guy miss.
yeah. And
So-
you see 70-year-old guys doing it. You think, well, if he can do that, I surely can.
Except Charles Barkley.
Like a professional golfer has got to be one of the most. I mean, those guys have been golfing since they're what Tiger started when he was 2.
Yeah. You're coming out the womb with a 5-iron.
Yeah. But like baseball, I mean, UFC definitely too. But I think that is more dependent on the weight class. I feel like the like light heavyweight would probably be the easiest ones to go in because they mainly just box.
Yeah, not as technical. You don't have to
But
be as well-rounded.
When you got to worry about Alexander Volkanovski jumping off the cage and hitting you with a spinning back kick,
They're grabbing your heel up and
or just
You're locked in.
Yeah, like there's so many. It's such a multi-leveled sport. Even when you just look inside the top 10, I think it's the most drastically different from champion to 10 than any other sport, including golf. I think you look at the top 10 guys and you're like, yeah, any of those guys can win.
at any given night.
And you look at the UFC and you look at the top 10 and you're like, 10 is never beating the champion.
Yeah, especially in today's, even the past 3 years, we've had all these uber-dominant champs that had 8, 9, 10, fight or title defense streaks.
Yeah.
I got to mention hockey, just because you're also skating while you're doing it,
And fighting.
and you only play for a minute and a half at a time because it's so exhausting.
Ice skating is insanely hard by itself.
I can't do it.
It terrifies me.
It's horrifying.
I don't think I would ever try it.
I've tried it when I was younger, and one, it hurts your feet.
It does.
It's very uncomfortable. It's not like rollerblades. Rollerblades kind of have a little give. Those blades have no give, and the sole in an ice skate is very, very thin.
Yeah.
It sucks.
I think I'm just more afraid of like falling and then somebody's skate going over like my hand or something.
Or
Your
neck.
throat.
Yeah, like I've seen that in hockey.
Yeah.
Goalie.
Yeah, try fighting a guy on skates.
Yeah.
Try
Fighting a guy is already hard enough.
Yeah. With a helmet on.
That too.
Let me take my gloves off and punch you in the helmet. That makes sense.
At least the NFL guys leave their gloves on.
Yeah, when they do fight. And physically, you got to go, I guess, for rugby, NFL.
Yeah, I don't understand the rules of rugby, but it is physically demanding
And again, I think with NFL, there's certain positions you're going to say are going to be harder. Like playing quarterback
for
has
all
got to
different
be.
reasons.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like the decision making you require as a quarterback. I've watched Tua's helmet cam footage. I don't see what he's looking at.
You've got
At all.
0.3 seconds to make that decision.
Yeah. And then like defensive linemen and offensive linemen.
Dude,
That's just a constant car crash.
imagine having to try and block Myles Garrett 35 times a game.
Yeah, I'll pass.
And if you fail on 2 of those, you had a bad game.
Yeah.
That's insane. Yeah, I think for your average guy, it's probably darts, pool, maybe. pretty hard.
Cornhole.
Oh, dude.
I love cornhole. I tear cornhole up.
After that nice 70-degree day yesterday.
I'll be honest, pool should be up there.
Pool is difficult.
Being like a professional pool player is insane.
It really is.
You're controlling a ball with a ball that you're spinning.
And doing geometry in your head. You're planning your next 7 shots.
In 5 seconds.
Yeah. And leaving your cue ball where you want it to be to set up your next shot.
Exactly where it has to be.
Ridiculous.
If it was anywhere else, your shot after that one's screwed.
Putting all the different spin on the ball. Underrated.
For sure.
And to do it drunk, too. Good Lord, man. Very difficult. Let's go with our blast to the past, which wasn't that long ago. Malice at the Palace.
What an event.
Most entertaining fight in sports, right?
It's got to be. And nothing like that will ever happen again.
Sadly.
Which I think is a shame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish we had more fights like that. Like
You know what I think they should do? Every year on the anniversary, they should have another one.
One random game. We don't know which game.
Yeah, but like just stack the seats with like UFC fighters.
Francis Ngannou is sitting front row. He throws a drink on Steven Adams.
You get like Nikola Jokic's brothers.
Yeah, just stack it with everyone from New Zealand because it's like 30 people. And then Jokic's brothers and, I don't know, Shannon Sharp.
I want to see, I think it should be legal. Next time a fan calls Westbrook a bitch, he should be able to go up there and throw a few hands.
At least a smack.
You know?
At least an open-handed slap. I'd love to see Westbrook backhand a fan.
Decapitation.
Honestly, the fans deserve it.
Agreed.
They deserve it. He's the most overhated player ever.
He's such a good dude.
For sure. Like off court and on court.
Yeah.
I agree.
But I will say, at the time, if I was a Cavs fan, when I was a Cavs fan, and if he dunked on Kyrie and I was there, I'd be very unhappy with him.
Oh, I agree.
You throw some choice words
I would
out
be
there.
very, very unhappy with Russell Westbrook for being
100%.
athletic.
Yeah.
For being the same height as my point guard, and my point guard can't dunk.
He did dunk like a month ago.
I know.
That was sick. It's like
He's got like 3 dunks in his career.
I know. And that one was tough.
None of them have been pretty.
No, not at all.
But 2 points is 2 points.
Exactly.
So Pacers up by 15. Less than a minute left to go in the game. Ben Wallace gets fouled by, of course, the central figure of the story, Ron Artest. Wallace then shoves him. They break out in a little fight, a little scuffle. Typical NBA kind of fight, right? Well, then Artest goes and lays down on the scorer's table, and a fan throws a drink at him. Mr. Artest didn't take too kindly to that. And we've all seen the clip. If you haven't, go to YouTube. I think there's a documentary on Netflix just about this. And then chaos ensues. And I mean, chaos. You get 11 guys, or 9 guys get suspended, a total of 146 games, over $11 million in lost salary, 5 assault charges, probation, community service, increased security after that, and limit of sale of alcohol. And then one part I didn't know, even after watching the documentary, when Artest first got up, he ran over the Pistons announcer.
Yeah.
Dude broke 5 vertebrae.
Yeah. No, it truly was malice at the palace.
Yeah. And whoever coined that, what a genius.
Genius. They should be making $1 million a year.
Easily.
Trademark it.
Yeah.
Let's have him come up with art. He could
Can
be
we
very
get Malice
creative.
at the Palace merch now? It's so long ago, I feel like we should get merch.
We're due.
Like, can we get a Ron Artest laying on the announcer's desk shirt?
Then, of course, Ron first went up, punched the wrong guy.
Naturally.
Hey,
You don't know. You don't know which one
Yeah.
threw it.
It was one of the two.
He
right?
just punched the guy with a drink still in his hand.
Ben Wallace's brother was in attendance, got involved. And at
Of
that
course.
point, yeah, Reggie rushed the crowd. Jermaine O'Neal's there trying to get Ron back.
I mean, big dogs.
yeah, oh yeah. I mean, Jermaine O'Neal, scary dude.
Jermaine O'Neal, Ben Wallace's brother.
You do
and
not
Ron
want-
Artest.
If there's one guy I'm not trying to fight, it's Ben Wallace.
Hands
Yeah.
down.
If there's one guy that was involved that I am trying to fight, it's Reggie Miller.
No, Reggie was not even playing in that game.
I
And this is
know.
old Reggie too. He's like,
That's
oh
what
my
I'm saying,
God.
dude. I'm fighting Reggie Miller for sure.
Not to mention, you're on the road in Detroit.
Yeah, that's tough, man.
Had to make sure they got the players escorted out of there. Because, I mean, what could have happened after the fact?
Anything.
Fans out there packing.
You got to pray Ben Wallace is done.
Somebody control Ben
Because
Wallace.
nobody is going to stop him from going into the Pacers locker room and just breaking necks.
Yeah, wild stuff. And
Ben Wallace, probably the Matt Rempe of the NBA.
definitely an enforcer, but a lot more playing time also.
If he didn't foul out or get ejected.
Fair point. The rest ended the game. It was never finished. Steel chairs were thrown.
WWE style,
Now,
baby.
look,
if there's a chair there,
if you're a fan that didn't throw a drink and you see chaos start to break out, what are you doing?
trying to get to a chair.
You, right now, you're there at the game, you're about 7 beers deep. If there's a player in the stands, you're going to get involved, right?
I got to at least grab a handful of hair or something.
Come on.
I would
for
try
sure.
and tear a chunk out of Ben Wallace's afro or something.
That's memorabilia.
Although it's probably impossible.
And
That
he's
thing
gonna-
never
he's
moved.
gonna murder you directly after that.
That thing never moved.
Sturdy.
So,
Honestly, that's the way they could fix All-Star Weekend. It's an unfinished game. Bring back all of these players and just replay it.
and the fans.
And the fans, man, you got like
Especially the guy who threw the drink.
I don't hate the idea.
You have to start exactly where they left off, though, with Ron Artest laying on the announcer's table.
you got to get the guy with like the 5 broken vertebrae back there, same position.
He might be dead.
He was old.
He was an old guy. And this
Announcers
was,
are always
20
old.
years ago. But there was one line in the article here that mentioned the police presence, which makes me think of the Chris Paul, Blake Griffin a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Just as funny, honestly. Nowhere near as serious overall, but an all-timer. So, of course, send in your Blast of the Past suggestions to the promo we didn't do earlier.
Well, we're here now.
That we are. Take it away.
At sportsandstogies@gmail.com. Sports and Stogies on all social medias, including Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and the show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Asterix. I still haven't looked into that at all, but as far as I know, nobody said that they can't find it, so I'm assuming that it either just takes them straight to YouTube Music but then YouTube and Amazon Prime.
And now featured directly on Evan's website. It's our next collaboration.
With video.
Imagine that gets video before we actually get video in studio after a year and a half. Now it's Tuesday, which means underrated Tuesday.
Underrated Tuesday.
Evan, start us off with your first one.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I like yours. So I'll let you do them.
Shane was known to piggyback on my picks.
I like yours.
We're going to start with, not intentional, because I didn't know you were a Packer fan, but a guy that could have been a top 3 wideout all time if he stayed healthy. Shannon's brother, Sterling Sharp. Only played 7 years, never missed a game. Only the last 3 with Brett Favre, but led the league in receptions 3 times, yardage once, touchdowns twice. In 7 years, put up just over 8,000 yards, 65 touchdowns, and just a hair under 600 catches. The biggest evidence there when Shannon got inducted into the Hall. I'm the only guy in the Hall that can say that I'm not the best player in my own family. What could have been?
What could have been?
Imagine the gunslinger Brett Favre with 10 years of Sterling Sharp.
At least 2 more rings. At least.
Ugh. Brett
Dude.
Favre, though.
Dude. What's up with the Favre slander?
He's a known Favre hater.
Dude, Brett Favre was the toughest quarterback to ever play this game.
I've heard that a time or two.
It is true, though.
Played
It is
with a
true.
broken ankle the size of a softball.
Yeah, he does. He did play through injuries. You're right.
And to have his streak broken by Eli Manning,
I know.
of all people, what an insult.
Yeah. I mean, Brady knows that all too well.
That's a fact. Yeah, I think what could have been, man. What should have been.
What should have been. There you go.
I don't think you give me yours, actually.
No, we're going in raw.
Okay. NFL, NBA,
I got
one of each.
I think I just have NBA. Yeah. So number 1, Dwight Howard. People look at only the last 10 years of his career.
Yeah.
When he was bouncing around teams. If he would have stayed with Orlando, we would be talking about Dwight Howard as one of the best centers of all time. There is not a single doubt in my mind about that.
I'm with you. Prime Orlando Howard.
He was the closest thing that we've had to Shaq since Shaq and played with Shaq.
Yeah.
For Shaq's team. And it's like he would be a top 15 player all time if he would have stayed with the Magic.
That's a hot take.
Yeah, it's maybe a bit of a stretch.
I 100% will die on that hill.
It's tough to say, what could have been, but there's
Or if his
big men
first
get the pass
tenure
first.
with the Lakers would have worked out.
Yeah.
But him and Kobe butt heads, and Kobe needed him off the team. So
Yeah, now you think Dwight, all you think about is him, bouncing around, playing in Taiwan.
it's kind of the same thing like Tony Romo, right? Where you just look at the broken collarbone years, and you're like, that guy was terrible.
Yes and no. Number-wise, he was always consistent, but you look at
You're a
the
Cowboys
big
fan.
moments collapsing.
But when you're an outsider looking in, you weren't paying attention through the good of Tony Romo. You're looking there like, they need to move on from this guy. This guy stinks.
Well, also, the spotlight on Dallas is bright as anybody, whereas at the time, how much were people watching Orlando?
Probably more than they are now.
Well, it's a low bar, to be fair.
But, he was probably the most athletic center of all time.
Specimen.
Just a freak.
Giant shoulders. Averaging
And-
20 and 20.
Yeah, one of the best defensive centers of all time.
What?
That's a
at
fact.
least 2-time DPOY.
Yeah. And would have probably been more. But,
Bounced
things
around.
happen.
Yeah.
Who's your second one?
Second one is a guy that everybody knows. Everybody knows is a Hall of Famer and a quality player, but I think he's still underrated overall because of the all-time stars he played with and never won a ring. Maybe the most clutch player of all time, Reggie Miller.
Yeah.
Before Steph, you can make the argument with Ray Allen, best shooter of all time, most clutch shooter of all time, and quality defender, could drive. Missed a few games, but 4 straight years playing 82 with 36-plus minutes per game. Averaged 18, 3 and 3, over 1,400 career games. Had pretty much the last 5 or 6 just being an outside Kyle Korver type perimeter shooter.
Yeah.
If he had gotten a ring, he'd get a lot more respect, I think.
For sure.
But
Definitely.
playing in the East during Jordan's era,
It was virtually impossible. Even in the early 2000s, too. Like through the 90s, when Jordan wasn't there, you're still talking the East was the
what the West is now.
yeah, exactly. And even in the early 2000s, you got to beat Ben Wallace and the Pistons. Good luck. And you're the Pacers. You're not a huge draw.
And I love guys that play their entire career in one city.
Yeah, nobody
Agreed.
was like, oh, I'm going to get traded to the Pacers. That's the place to be. So, you also have to factor that in. Everybody wanted to go to the Bulls. Everybody wanted to go to the Celtics. Everybody wants to go to the Lakers. There are places where people target in free agency, and you just don't have the same player pool as these other teams do, realistically.
And Reggie could have left his last couple years, try to go get that ring.
He
Stay with it.
He could have left after his rookie contract.
Yeah.
But he said, I'm going to make this team great, and we're still waiting, unfortunately.
Reggie Miller, underrated.
For sure.
This one might be hot. A little hotter than the last one, because we all respect Dwight Howard.
Hotter
Not-
than last week?
No.
Because I've gotten a ton of pushback on that
Kobe?
one. Oh, yeah.
Well, they're in for a surprise awakening today because he was almost not on my top 15.
Really?
But I was able
We'll get there.
I was able to work that in.
We'll get there.
But DeAndre Jordan.
I totally agree.
If he was anywhere besides the Clippers, the guy would have been he was one of the best centers in the league, but he got overshadowed because he played for the Clippers and the Clippers suck.
Besides that, 2-year Lob City run, where they were highlight machines.
Yeah, and everybody forgot about him after that.
Yeah.
And like to kind of piggyback off of that, Andre Drummond.
I was about to say Drummond.
Yeah, like they're both kind of two guys in
Might
the
be
same
the same
boat.
person
He just put up like 22 rebounds on the Cavs.
Yeah, exactly. He still has it.
in
Yeah.
like 12 minutes.
The guy,
I know.
The guy led the league. Andre Drummond led the league in rebounds for like 5 years straight,
Yeah.
and nobody talked about it.
Well, he played for the Pistons, so
That-
Exactly.
We don't value the defensive first center. Outside of Rudy Gobert, who still can score, you don't appreciate guys like that in today's game.
But yeah,
Because
I
you
mean,
have to be able to stretch
yeah,
the floor and shoot from three.
Jordan and Drummond are two of the most underrated centers that I've probably ever seen play. And I tag Hassan Whiteside in there too. I would, but he has a lot of temperamental issues.
Yeah,
that-
different tier, but
locker
similar
room
style.
issues with Hassan Whiteside, and that's why he was unsuccessful.
Yeah.
But yeah, two very, very, very underrated guys. Just defensive machines, block machines, and then banging down low. Good luck,
Yeah,
because
not a
they're
crazy
moving
D-bag.
you out of the way.
But yeah, physical dudes backing you down.
But I think their era kind of, because they couldn't be as physical, I think that kind of helped them be underrated because they were getting a lot of fouls, offensive fouls, because they were moving guys out of the way.
You think we're going to cycle back to that style of ball eventually? That style of big man?
I would
think
hope
so.
so. That style of big man specifically, I would like. I think you have the build for what you want your stretches to be and what you want your guy in the paint to be. And I think it's plausible to have a Chet Holmgren on a team with a Steven Adams.
And that's what the Thunder are missing right now.
Yeah,
Is Chet's excellent on both sides of the ball, but getting bodied by these big physical centers.
exactly.
So you need a guy like Drummond or like Jordan.
well, with comments from like Adam Silver recently about like wanting to kind of make it more of a defensive friendly game too. I think it could be back sooner than what we think.
We'll say Adam Silver, probably the second best commissioner in pro sports, probably behind it hockey's.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
Adam Silver's
Maybe,
awesome.
maybe the best.
it's probably close. I would have to do a little bit of digging on the NHL's guy, but Silver is awesome.
Yeah, I've really heard nothing. I don't even know that.
He just
I think it's
looks
Gary,
weird.
I think it's Gary Bettman in the NHL.
He is scary looking.
He's just a weird looking dude.
A little alien-esque
Like if I saw him on the street, I'm speeding up a little bit.
crossing.
Yeah, I'm definitely just ignoring that I saw that guy. Like, is that a skinwalker? I don't know.
I'm
got
gonna double take for sure.
Got like Voldemort vibes,
Exactly.
except with a nose.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
If he didn't
could
have
be
a
a fake
nose,
nose.
true.
he could just pop it off when he gets home.
could be a prosthetic.
Like Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
You might have saw the clip the other day where his nose is like literally falling off in the interview.
Yeah.
So bizarre. I'll say it's a lot easier doing underrated.
Oh yeah,
There's
no, everybody
so many
loves
options.
underrated guys
Yeah.
too.
It's tough to go over. Not as
They're
many,
like, oh yeah, that guy is
not as many
underrated.
choices.
Yeah.
NFL news wise,
Kind of a lot.
as expected with Kelsey retiring.
Yeah, I figured. I mean, we all kind of assumed it after he said he was going to retire after the the championship game, right? And then he said I'd redact it because he wanted to announce it properly,
In his own terms.
So-
yeah.
just like a great guy would do.
Probably the best retirement speech I've ever seen.
It was phenomenal.
Unreal.
First ballot Hall of Famer, no doubt.
Arguably the best center of all time.
No doubt. Now, looking at next year, how does he affect the Eagles?
The
With
tush
him, with
push
him
is
not being there.
out of question, in my opinion.
No doubt.
I think you're going to be as successful as the other teams, around that 50 to 60%. And at that point, it's not worth it. You're flipping a coin. Just take the 1 yard pass. Scramble, run the ball up the middle, actually.
Definitely no more 3rd and 2, but we're obviously going to run it.
Yeah. So, yeah, the play style change. I think they'll have to work through it, though. Because I think they'll go in thinking they can continue to do the same thing. And then after the first couple games, they'll have to phase it out or use it way more rarely.
I think more importantly and more impactfully is his locker room presence, especially with Philly having all those collapses and drama and infighting. He was really the glue guy
Yeah.
and the true leader of that team.
Apparently, him and Jalen Hurts both. But who knows how much of it was him? And yeah, I don't know. Philly's a tough team to hold together. It's a tough atmosphere out there. Very brutal. So
good luck.
I couldn't think of a worse team to lose their leader.
Which, again, I'm sure they knew was coming, but can Hurts be that guy now on his own?
You would
Somebody
hope.
else
I mean, you
step up?
want it to be your quarterback, especially if he's your long-term quarterback, like he is. So,
I think he needs to be able to control A.J. Brown.
Or Nick Sirianni.
Yeah.
it's tough. It's tough to do. I mean, he's still young. He's
If-
younger than both of them by
If
far.
A.J. Brown stays, even.
I'd want to get rid of him, to be honest.
He did say he was going to be playing for Dallas this year
His
if
own
they
words.
lost.
His own words.
So,
Yeah, free agent class is looking pretty stacked already. Mike Evans got paid.
finally.
2
As it-
years, 52.
realistically, as expected.
Deserved.
And now kind of setting the market for these other free agents and guys that are looking for extensions.
Yeah, especially young guys.
Yeah, do you want a 10-year-old Mike Evans getting $26 million per year?
Or do you want Justin Jefferson getting 40?
Yeah.
I think we thought quarterbacks set the market. I think wide receivers are going to be right behind them in numbers. Because we know running backs, they're just choosing to not pay them at
We'll
all.
draft a guy in the third round.
Apparently, every single running back's just a dime a dozen,
Yeah.
which doesn't make sense to me, but it is what it is. But yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of, especially like with Chase coming up, Higgins will be next year, Jefferson,
A.J. Brown.
A.J. Brown, who already had a monster contract. You look at the guy next to you, and he got $26 million a year as a 10-year vet. It's going to be weird.
And not that Evans does not deserve that money.
No, he does.
Out-
Definitely.
The perfect picture of consistency.
Yeah.
But for these guys that are 24, 25, I know they're drooling. I'm
Ab-
glad we locked up CD when we did,
Yeah. Well,
until he wants to restructure.
either that or until that contract's up and he's like, hey, I'm 26, but remember what Mike Evans did 4 years ago? Still 4 years younger. I will say I think wide receivers have more longevity than running backs,
In today's game, for sure.
but yeah, I don't know. It's 2 years. That's a lot of money.
And now Baker apparently is all but signed up to come back to Tampa,
He should be.
which we all agreed with, right?
I agree.
All should have kept him there from the get-go. Seattle releases both Jamal Adams and Quandre Diggs. Kind of out of the blue.
Quandre Diggs surprised me.
That did. Adams
Oh.
I get.
He was injured. He's only good at blitzing. I mean, made his name with the Jets because everybody made fun of him, calling him Blitz Boy because his coverage was horrible.
And again, being hurt for the past 3 years, pretty
Yeah.
much.
But Diggs is very talented.
Quality corner, especially with the Legion of Boom 2.0 they're developing here.
Yeah, like that was such a weird move. Maybe they're just more confident in their young guys. I mean, he's not that old, but he's not
And wasn't getting paid a ton.
in his third year like every other person on their secondary besides Bobby Wagner still. So,
We got 5 guys here that got tagged today. All pretty substantial. You got Josh Allen in Jacksonville.
yeah, crazy that move. You thought Trevor Lawrence was their guy, but
Bring
somehow
in-
they managed to tag Josh Allen
And
instead.
J.A., who would have thought? Brian Burns tagged. Again, no shocker there.
Honestly, I think the Panthers should have traded him
I probably would have.
because it's just Kuechly 2.0.
Well, that and also you're not going to compete this year.
Yeah, you're still just going to be a terrible team. You need assets to rebuild, and re-signing stars isn't doing that.
And what team doesn't want to give up draft capital for a great edge rusher? That's the hottest commodity to have.
Exactly.
I know the Niners got some picks to give away.
Yeah,
Michael Pittman tagged.
not shocked.
The Colts' first tag since 2013 was the second longest streak.
Makes sense. Although there were some guys between now and 2013 that probably should have been tagged.
You know who the last guy was? In 2013?
Luck?
He's a pretty prominent. He's in our field now.
Oh, Pat?
Pat McAfee was franchise tagged.
Wow.
Yeah, wild, right?
That's insane.
That's a fun fact.
I didn't know till today.
I'm going to use that on our Google form. Who did the Colts franchise tag in 2013?
Dude, there should be some kind of like a
Trivia question.
test they got to pass. To
That's
be
what I
on.
was thinking.
Of course,
was
it's
like-
going to Google the answers anyway, but
Naturally, but
True.
And I was going to make it like, I was thinking about doing just like, who was the previous year's in the sport you watch MVP? Something like that. Like, just tell me that you keep up with sports.
Or ask them like show-related questions. Who was our original producer? And what was his nickname?
Which one?
We'll take one of two answers.
Yeah.
And then Justin Matabuke tagged as well, which is maybe the best player on that list. Very sneaky, very underrated.
Between him and Josh Allen, yeah, I think they're definitely, well, Brian Burns is probably the best player for sure, but the three defenders that got tagged are definitely way better than
Michael Pittman.
So,
Is he even a top 20 wideout?
probably.
Fringe. He's in that area.
You could say probably top 20.
20.
When he's healthy, top 20 is a fair.
Surprised by the guy that didn't get tagged?
Saquon?
Thoughts on that?
I don't know, man. With all this news about the Packers possibly not getting Jones back, maybe.
Whoa. Whoa.
Maybe. I would take Saquon. I love Jones. I know they're trying to get it restructured, but if it doesn't work, I would love to see him in Green Bay. I know Dylan's not coming back.
Yeah, I saw
probably.
that. No, you're not bringing AJ
He's
back.
too busy farming.
Is he a
I-
farmer?
I love
He's
Dylan.
a farming simulator streamer.
AJ Dillon.
Yeah.
Really?
He puts a cowboy hat on and plays farming simulator on stream.
No kidding.
Yeah.
He's my new favorite player.
He's a beast. Oh,
Bring him to Dallas. Come on, Jerry. Make a phone call.
we just can't keep running back. Like I miss Jamal Williams.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
loved him
Best locker room guy in the league, too.
for sure. One person that did get tagged. I want to know your guys' opinion. What do you think about T. Higgins getting tagged and then them kind of saying, well, we might trade him still? What do you guys think?
It's kind of a weird move, especially because his tag was like 22 mil.
The Bengals front office is just bizarre in general.
Yeah. And everything is always so hush-hush until it happens.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knows what the Bengals are thinking about doing right now. Any Bengals fans you talk to, they're just like, yeah, hopefully Brock Bowers falls to us in the draft. We really need a tight end.
And they mentioned they didn't want to trade T because they didn't want to make other teams better. But, like, if he walks, you're getting nothing out of it and making another team better anyway.
Yep.
I mean, maybe you just test the market. You say, hey, T, look, we don't want to, but if you don't plan on signing long-term, we're just going to see what we could possibly get.
That'd be a smart move.
I mean, that's basically what the Ravens did with Lamar.
And let's see him have a bounce back year first, too.
Also
Because
true.
he definitely the worst year of his career last year. Maybe they're
Yeah.
banking on that.
I feel like a lot of it was mental, though. I feel like he didn't know if he was going to be here, so he just didn't really care. He did get hurt a little bit, but, like, I don't know. And then Joe going out. So there's a lot of things. I think he'll bounce back.
And then still being a 9-8 team,
Yeah. Like,
Showing
some
that.
reason.
showing that you shouldn't probably have paid Joe Burrow the most money of all time.
yeah. Honestly, though, with his, like, track record, they're going to the Super Bowl this upcoming season.
He should. They should. And
I-
they should lose again.
Have been thinking about my Super Bowl pick for next season, and I might double down and go with the Bengals 2 years in a row.
I can't.
Well, we'll get there when we get there.
Burn me, dude.
Yes and no.
This was their year. They didn't have
should
these.
have been.
They didn't have these. Oh, is this guy in? Is this guy out? What's his mindset? This year was we're all in.
Yeah.
Now again, if you think T. Higgins had mental issues last year, where he was like, oh, I'm kind of checked out. I don't know. Imagine playing on a tag.
Yeah. I don't know, though.
Like a lot of times you get tagged because you didn't reach an agreement.
I think it's a good motivator. Like, if I'm playing on tag, I'm now playing for my next contract.
I agree.
Yes and no, but you are in the last year of your deal too, whether you get tagged or not, because they could have used the tag elsewhere. But it also depends on who the Bengals lock up on their defense,
True.
because you have Awuzie you have to pay, you have, I mean, all kinds of guys, and you got to lock up DJ Reader, who is crucial to lock up. I mean, we'll see, but
If it's not the Bengals, though, I would like to see the Jets go from the AFC, just so Rodgers can get another chip. So
Yeah.
bad. I don't care where he's at. I was so excited for him last year.
yeah,
Like,
How much did it hurt watching him go? Because even the whole season prior to that was they're at odds. He doesn't want to be here. They don't want him here. Oh wait, he actually does want to be here.
see, when it comes to my quarterbacks, I follow them wherever they go. So, like with Favre, like when Favre,
You mean you're one quarterback you've had your entire life?
yeah, But like I watched Favre when he was on Minnesota. I'm like, I'll watch Rodgers wherever he goes. I don't want him to go, but I was confident enough that even though I wasn't happy with Jordan Love being drafted, I was confident enough he'll get the job done. So
Pleasant surprise.
yeah,
That you guys struck gold again.
Well, I think it all goes to the mentoring because like Favre mentored Rodgers. Rodgers is just that talented.
And they
though.
all play the exact same.
Oh, you can pull up any film of them, and
If you watch a 3 side by sides of their throwing form, it's like Mason Rudolph and Ben Roethlisberger.
I think it's scary about how like close all of their stats are too. Like statistically, they are like almost identical.
Yeah. Me and Evan talked pre-show too. I think a lot of it, at least with Love, and of course saw it with Rodgers too, is they got to sit a little bit.
Yeah.
They weren't drafted
There's
and
no
had to
pressure.
play off the bat. I think that goes a long way.
You're not
You can-
under pressure when you're taking over a team you've been with for 3 years.
You can develop. You already have relationships with your wideouts and with your coaches.
Yeah.
You know the system already. There's some stability there.
For sure. I do think though, since Rodgers, I don't know, with all the young receiver talent that we had coming up, I was happy that we kind of moved on. Rodgers would have done great with them, but Love coming up with them, I think it really helped him. So,
especially because of how Rodgers is with young receivers.
yeah, he
Remember
doesn't.
his first game throwing to Christian
Randall
Watson.
Cobb would have caught 10 touchdowns last year if Rodgers was still
Guaranteed.
there.
I agree.
Guaranteed. Now you're bringing Saquon. It's a scary team.
I hope we get him.
And a team that was already good and was in the process of peaking at the end of the year. So we don't even know how good they really are.
I saw that NFL executives favorited them to win the Super Bowl. There was like,
How many years after Rodgers taking over did he win his first Super Bowl?
let's see, what year did he take over? It was 2000.
I want to say 3 years after.
Yeah, because he won it in 2010.
Imagine if we keep that same schedule. Jordan Love breaks it.
Put a bet in right now.
A year early. I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I really thought. Think about it. If we would have beat the Niners,
Yeah,
we could have been Super
you
Bowl champions.
absolutely destroyed Dallas. I mean, it wasn't even close. I don't even know if it was a football game.
That's putting it nicely.
Dallas might have been playing their high school, state runner-up, maybe.
Yeah.
So you absolutely, I mean, hand around the throat, not releasing.
You can't even describe it good enough.
Yeah, there's no
Good old fashioned cracking a can of whoop ass.
exactly just all over at Dallas in Dallas to
Yeah.
just go in and absolutely get their head coach fired. Oh, well, that didn't happen, but should have gotten their head coach fired, but instead their defensive coordinator took a coaching job somewhere else
That's what hurts the most.
who we all wanted them to be the new head coach of Dallas, and then just for you guys to send them into the offseason early, and then now they don't know what they're doing in the offseason because they're still not over it. It's
That's
beautiful.
True poetry.
It was beautiful.
It's like slam poetry, though.
Yeah.
It's all up in your face, dude.
But not enough because we still didn't fire McCarthy.
You should have.
You were never a McCarthy fan, right?
No, like I know we got a championship with him, but no.
That wasn't because of him,
No.
you know?
well, that's because Rodgers didn't like McCarthy either.
Yeah, like that's the thing though. I just don't understand why our defense has struggled so much. Because like I saw a stat earlier, and it was like Aaron Rodgers lost so many postseason games because, but his defense gave up like 30-something points in 57% of them, and Tom Brady had like 2%.
Yeah.
If that.
So what's your Green Bay Packers needs and wants in the offseason?
Needs and wants. We need to figure out our running back situation for sure. If we don't get Jones, then yeah, I want Saquon or somebody big name because I want somebody.
You want to pay for that back.
I do
Because you could probably get Pollard for cheaper if Dallas doesn't do anything with him.
I'd take Pollard.
Or Jacobs if you wanted to pay a little bit more. I would take Jacobs over Saquon just because of the injury history.
Well, that, and I think stylistically, I like
And
that.
yeah, a more in-your-face, up-the-middle running back that's what Green Bay needs.
I agree. Offensively, another thing too, Dave Bakhtiari, gonna fill that hole.
Similar to Kelsey, like heart and soul of the team, true leader,
Like-
great tackle.
Like I'm upset that he's gonna be leaving, but then again, like he hasn't played in so long that like he hasn't impacted no matter what. So it doesn't really bug me. I just feel like he's gonna go somewhere and then he's not gonna get hurt ever again.
That's what happened to Joe Hayden.
Mm-hmm.
We're like, yeah, dude, it sucks, but he's hurt all the time, and then he plays 4 years with Pittsburgh and gets injured for like 35 seconds.
Back to a Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trey actually mentioned he might be going to the Rams.
Joe Hayden?
Bakhtiari.
Oh,
They could use it.
They could use it.
that would suck for you though.
I would hate it.
Yeah, because Trey's a Rams fan.
See, Trey's second favorite team is the Packers, but yeah, my second favorite team is definitely not the Rams.
No.
I don't like the Rams.
The only people who like the Rams are Rams fans.
Which
Yep.
there's not many of.
No.
It'd be like saying that I just love the Bears,
Yeah.
and you're not 100 years old.
Yeah. I can vouch for him, though. Like, he truly is a Rams fan, not just with all the hype that happened in the Super Bowls last several years, but, like, he has, like, St. Louis Rams wallpaper. Like,
That's
so he's a real
pretty
Rams
sick.
fan.
Dedicated.
pretty
Yeah.
sick, dude.
It is sick.
Now, which division rival do you hate the most?
The
Because
Bears.
you own the Bears.
I hate the Bears.
It's not even a
though.
rivalry, but you still hate them that much?
I do, just because I think it's just the legacy that's there.
It's the rivalry that goes back through all of time.
Because I don't hate the Lions. I was rooting for the Lions actively.
Everybody's favorite team
Yeah.
now.
Like, I don't hate them whatsoever. Minnesota, I don't like them,
They
but
suck, though.
yeah, so it's definitely
The
the
Bears were good once upon a time, and that still irks him.
Yeah,
I mean, it's one of the biblical stories. Right before Noah's Ark, it was the Packers and Bears championship game for the first time.
It is the most historical rivalry. But you got, what, 10 straight? 12 straight?
And like
12.
40 years of being a good football team on them.
Yeah, I'll take it. So even though we dominate them, the Bears.
Keep stacking up the years of being a good football team on the Bears dome piece. Walter Payton, who?
Now, how many years for the Lions to be good to where you start hating them? 2, 3?
It depends. Like, if we're still making the playoffs, and when they're in the playoffs, then it doesn't really bug me, as long as they're not beating us. Because I honestly think that if they would have won, we would have beat them.
It wouldn't have shocked me.
So it kind of just depends. I've never really had that animosity towards them. Like, I've been to Ford Field. It's awesome. Like, it's pretty sick.
I've also been to Ford Field.
I've never been there for a game, but I went there. I crossed and went inside of it because I was going to a Tigers-Yankees game. So,
I went there for WrestleMania.
oh, that's
So,
sick.
That was at Ford Field?
yeah.
They're talking about SummerSlam
Nice.
being in Cleveland.
I know. My dad said he'll buy us tickets and we'll take a wrestling trip if it is.
That's sick.
So we're due,
Yeah.
whatever that means.
In costume.
No, I'll buy a Stone Cold shirt that I wasn't allowed to have when I was little.
I have wondered why I haven't bought myself an Austin 316 t-shirt.
First time I ever remember using my middle finger is when he came out.
Oh, of course.
He flipped me off. I gave it right back. I was like, this is what we do here.
Every young boy, that's their gateway.
Yeah.
Trey's got a Mysterio mask. Call him Trey Mysterio.
Oh, that's sick.
That's pretty dope.
Dude, he's got it's sick.
And it's TREY.
Yeah, it's sick.
This could be our staple for each guest, like the recurring questions. Favorite wrestler all time?
Oh, that's tough. Growing up, can I give top 3?
Yeah.
No
You can do
particular
top 50 if you
We'll
want.
allow it.
top 3, no particular order. I've always loved the Undertaker. Always.
Respectable.
I love Cena.
Respectable.
And
Don't miss right here, dude.
I don't know your opinion. I've always enjoyed The Rock.
Okay.
I thought you were going to go on All-American.
So did I.
I like The Rock. So that's probably my top
That's
3.
fair. If you would have said Kurt Angle, we would have cut the show right now.
Definitely not Kurt Angle.
Boom. Kurt Angle sucks.
Hey, I'm not a Kurt Angle fan. I just was perplexed why you hated him so much.
Terrible, dude. Hate that
What
guy.
about current Kurt Angle? Like meme
Meme Kurt Angle's hilarious.
Legend.
But it's just the one meme.
That's all you need, though.
Got to meet a few wrestlers in December. I met Kane. He's an awesome dude.
He's like a
He's a
mayor.
governor
Yeah.
or mayor
Yeah,
or
in
something.
Kentucky.
Yeah.
He's huge. His hands in golf mine.
Hey, isn't he like 7 foot?
Yeah, saw him. Saw Ric Flair. Yeah,
Was it sad?
kind of.
He still tries to be the nature boy.
He
Dude,
does.
you're 75 years old.
Trey and his dad were really set on meeting him, so I kind of recorded a little bit away from him. But I did get to go up there with him, and he
Did he give you a woo?
He
Did
did.
he chop you, dude?
he did for them. They kind of got him to open up some.
They got him riled up,
Well, he was just kind of he wasn't.
murmuring to himself.
Yeah, didn't seem into it. But they started
Yeah.
bringing up his last match against Shawn Michaels, and it really opened them up. So it was cool.
You should have got him to chop you.
It'd be an honor.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah, I go Stone Cold, Edge, Taker. My
Okay.
top 3.
That's fair.
Love Edge, dude.
Edge is sick.
You gotta love Edge.
And introduced me to one of my favorite bands of all time, Alter Bridge. with one of the most iconic themes of all time.
Yeah, probably most iconic behind CM Punk's.
Definitely top 3. I know you go Cena. I don't know if I know you're 2 and 3.
Cena for sure. When I was young, I loved Sheamus.
Okay.
I did know that. You told that story.
I mean, I had a Sheamus necklace that got taken away from me by a lunch lady in 5th grade because she said it was a weapon.
What?
Yeah,
Little did you know you were the weapon.
exactly. But it was a Celtic cross, so the cross at the bottom was pointed.
Okay.
So they said that I wasn't allowed to have that, and then they never gave it back.
Dude.
Ridiculous. And
You gotta go reclaim what's
I'll
yours.
probably keep him in my top 3 forever because of that, too.
Our school district, dude.
Unreal. And then, yeah, I go Taker as well.
I love Taker.
Is Russell Wilson the worst trade of all time now?
No, the trade for Sean Payton is.
We forgot about that one, but it's definitely up there.
Because Russell Wilson played fine this year. He played good. But Sean Payton doesn't like him. So that's why he got released.
I was honestly shocked to see that Russ was like, yeah, I want to finish it out in Denver. I didn't expect him to have that kind of love for the city still.
He doesn't have any
That's
animosity
just
towards
Russ.
him.
He's the most positive guy ever.
Yeah, Sean Payton was the one who started all the negative energy.
I know, but like if you're just so like unwanted by like one guy, especially the guy you're playing for, like why would you want to play for him? I wouldn't.
Good attitude on the way out will get you picked up somewhere else.
True. Especially with like his struggles over the last several years. So
Yeah.
True.
But last year, he worked out the kinks. He played good football.
I agree.
So it's like you have Russell Wilson not approaching his peak, but probably getting back to as close as he can be. And now you want to release him?
Yeah.
If they would have released him at the beginning of this season, I wouldn't have been shocked.
Yeah. Well, you got to think too. Like the Broncos were a lot closer to making the playoffs last year than we thought. Like if the Chiefs would have lost like 1 or 2 of their last games,
Yeah.
then the Broncos were in.
Yes.
So yeah, and Russ could have done something. They wouldn't have been the first round next year for sure.
So it's not a bad trade because of Russ, because he did play pretty well last year. But to give up 2 firsts, 2 seconds, a 4th, a 5th, and then Drew Lock, Noah Fant, and a 3rd player to get 2 years of Russ, 2 losing seasons, and now $85 million in dead cap. It's not a good trade.
Deshaun Watson's trade is still worse.
And we had brought that up too.
Still worse. But you also gave up, 2 first-round picks for Sean Payton?
I think he did get 2. Yeah.
That's awful.
So yeah, put those as a package deal.
You're trading 2 first-round picks for a guy who got carried by Drew Brees his
overrated
entire career.
to begin with.
Overrated as hell.
Tease for next week.
But also can't control a locker room for anything.
Clearly.
You're the one, the coach is the one bringing the negative energy into the locker room. You gave up 2 first-round picks for that guy? It's tough.
Not a good time to be a Bronco fan.
I do want to know your opinion though, Cam. I know that.
I have one.
Okay,
On
I'm
every
sure.
possible topic.
I'm sure. I want to know your opinion. I know that you're kind of like obligated to start Deshaun Watson next year.
You have to.
Would you though? Like if you
Yeah.
if you picked your quarterback on
Yes.
that roster, really?
Reason being is when he played this year, yeah, the first couple games were bad. The Pittsburgh game was terrible. But if you take away the Pittsburgh game, he was playing good. And he was the best fourth quarter quarterback in the league by far. But his stats when he got hurt were similar to Joe Burrow's. They were very comparable. So it's like, yeah, on paper it's still terrible because he's making so much money and it's fully guaranteed. But at the same time, you have the highest paid player ever. Your stats are relatively the same. His just isn't fully guaranteed, and you both had season-ending injuries. What are we really talking about?
Now, Evan, ask that question again, but ask Shane.
Okay, Shane. I know you're obligated to.
Joe Flacco.
Okay. I love Joe though.
Love Joe Flacco.
Elite.
Elite. Joe Flacco.
I enjoyed watching Joe this year. He did good.
He just turned the ball over a lot.
I know, but
And I will say, I still think in that playoff game, he was like, I'm a Raven at heart. Because he did, not once, but twice, 2 things you've never seen Joe Flacco do in his entire career. And it's throw a dumb ball out of a sack. You've never seen him do that. Ever. Why are you doing it when you're 42? It's not just something that changes. You're not instinctually doing that. You're choosing to do that.
Yeah.
I think he said, you know what? I was glad for this 1 year run. I'm still a Raven, and I'm going to show you why.
And our last NFL topic here, Evan, what the hell does Pittsburgh do at quarterback? Because apparently they don't have any interest in any free agent.
Man, I think you get Big Ben out of retirement.
It'd be better than Kenny
That's
Pickett.
basically Mason Rudolph.
Yeah, I agree 100%. He's very similar. If you're not looking at any free agents though, and you have to pick between
Not even
two
looking.
of them,
Like, you're not even window shopping.
It's
Weird
not
thing
smart.
to say.
I mean, you're not walking by and looking in the window like, that's a nice jacket. Not even that.
Like you can tell, like
You're just full tunnel vision on the road to nothing.
you can tell Kenny Pickett to keep his morale up, but to announce it like publicly, we have no interest in any of these guys, is pretty weird.
Yeah, that's crazy. Not like, oh, we're weighing our options. Hey, Kenny, we're definitely going with you.
Typical coach speak.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's not smart.
Yeah, to just say, yep, Kenny Pickett and Mason Rudolph are going to battle it out this offseason. Because they're not in a position to draft one unless they're drafting one of the guys like J.J. McCarthy, whose stock is first round but not top 10, which apparently people are saying J.J. McCarthy's stock is top 10 now.
After his combine, he's skyrocketed
I agree.
out of nowhere, I think.
Even being a Buckeyes fan, I think he'll have a good NFL career.
I agree. I think he will be in the right system. He's a very good decision maker. He's not a playmaker. He's a very good decision maker. He will be your Jimmy Garoppolo kind of quarterback. Alex Smith. You're similar to probably Andrew Luck. Maybe not
less
less arm talent, but you're Andrew Luck's where you're just not turning the ball over. You're making good decisions. You know when to take the sack, and you can move a little bit, but that's not your primary feature. I mean, he will have a solid career in the right scheme. Now, if he gets drafted by the Bears, they'll have a new quarterback in 3 years.
Yep.
Take the under on that.
But I think if you draft anyone to the Bears, you're looking at the same factor because there's not a quarterback good enough to make that a good football team. There's way too many missing pieces.
Caleb Williams.
Including Patrick Mahomes. The Bears would not be a playoff team with Patrick Mahomes. And I can't stress that enough. They are missing.
Like it could be.
They are missing way too many factors and playmakers to be a good football team with just a great quarterback.
I agree.
And they're just ran terribly as a franchise.
Probably where all the problems start.
Yeah, the front office is awful.
Coaching staff has never been good.
I mean, they made a decent thing to trade for Montez Sweat, but they should have traded for Chase Young. So it's like you messed that up. You had two options. Both were completely available. And you weren't wanting to give the same thing you gave up for Montez Sweat for Trey Young. Or Chase Young.
Or Trey Young.
Or Trey Young.
Let's go to the NBA. Do you want to start top 15 or do you want to start with LeBron?
Let's start with the top 15.
Okay,
it's more
so
important.
I thought on this heavily. Swapped a lot of guys around.
Took me about 35 seconds.
Pretty quick.
I make my decisions and I got to stick with them. So
That's a good way to go about it.
Okay.
Number 15.
I went Moses Malone.
I've got Kevin Garnett.
We've got Dr. J.
Honorable mention.
Honorable mention also.
He was Jordan before
And
Jordan. 4 MVPs.
Moses is an honorable mention for me, too.
14.
Big O, Oscar Robertson.
Chuck, baby.
Both those guys just missed mine. I got Kevin Durant.
Not on mine, man.
I mean, he's never, besides his rookie year, he's averaged at least 25 every year. I think he's probably the best pure offensive threat of all time.
Hands down.
Only knock against him is joining the Warriors to get that ring.
Since we're talking NBA real quick, Alperen Sengun just went for over 45 points, over 15 rebounds, and over 5 steals. To be the youngest ever to do that.
I'm on record stating how much I love that dude.
He's a beast.
He's a beast.
Underrated.
I do want to shout out the Cavs real quick.
Top
for
15.
Coming back from down 22, beating the Celtics by 1.
Yeah, we'll talk about that when we get to my team of the week.
With no
too.
Mitchell.
With no Mitchell.
13.
Kobe.
Hakeem.
I lied. 13 is Big O. for
Okay.
me.
Okay.
I overlooked him real quick. I scrolled too far. Kobe at 13.
Yeah.
I didn't think he'd make your top 10 based on your stance last week. That's tough, though.
I was kind of like shocked by your stance last week for sure. I could see the argument, but I don't agree with it.
That's fine, dude.
But I could see it. It definitely kind of threw me for a loop, though. I was just sitting there listening, and I'm like, dang.
Didn't you do your own research and you're like, I can see it.
It's kind of true.
Kind of got a point.
Yeah.
And most missed shots of all time does help back that up.
If Oscar had played longer and played in maybe a different era, he's top 10. But to do what he did when he did it against that competition is unreal, but it was a lower level of competition.
Well, if you say that though, would that mean like hypothetically speaking, like end of career comes, would you have Russell Westbrook over Big O?
You would have to.
He's so underrated.
So like Russell Westbrook be a top 10 player.
I think you can argue that Russell Westbrook will finish his career as a top 15 all time.
I don't think it's egregious.
No, I can see that.
But the problem is his stardom did last so long, but he's going to be like a Dwight Howard, where people just look at the last 10 years, last 5 years, last 6 years, whatever it may be,
Yeah.
and be like, yeah, he averaged triple-double 3 years in a row, but who cares? He only won one MVP and got robbed for 2 other ones.
Yeah.
Number 12.
Kevin Durant.
Big O.
That's Steph Curry.
Okay.
But I think by retirement could work his way into the top 10.
Number 11.
Steph.
Tim Duncan.
You got Bill Russell, who I almost left off, but he's the best winner of all time.
Can't leave Bill Russell off.
13 years, 11 titles,
Yeah, you
probably
can't.
the best defender of all time.
You got
Can't leave.
Tim Duncan out of the top 10.
Yeah.
If he didn't put Kobe in, I didn't think he'd have Timmy in there either.
Well, there's only one reason why, and you'll find out here at my number 9.
Because Victor's number 9 already.
Exactly.
I respect it. Number 10.
I got Kobe Bean Bryant.
Larry Bird.
Got Will Still, who was, for me, the hardest to rank because of era.
Not me. He played against Bill Russell and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
He could be on Mount Rushmore. It's how dominant
And
he
he
was
should be.
in that era. But because of the era, and yes, he did 2 of the best ever he did play against.
That's all that matters.
But
I moved
And he
him.
did it against them.
Yeah. I moved them around probably like 3 different times trying to figure out where to put them. But yeah.
I got him exactly where I want him and right where I think he deserves to be. baby.
7-time scoring champ, averaged 30 and 23, and then even track rebounds the first 6 years of his career.
Yeah.
Number 9.
Tim Duncan.
Stephen Curry.
I got Timmy as well.
Okay.
And I like having Steph in the top 10 even now.
Yeah, I agree. You can argue that.
Best shooter all time and accolade-wise, just a beast.
Well, he changed the game.
He did.
Like,
And that's the hardest thing for me to leave Dirk off is because he was a game changer, but I think he's top 20, not top 15.
He's
I agree.
definitely in my 18, 19 spot.
it was hard for me not to put Dirk on here either. Definitely my favorite power forward.
Yeah. Very easy to love.
Number 8.
Wilt Chamberlain.
Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon.
Here I go, Kobe Bean Bryant.
Okay.
It's acceptable.
I about had Kobe at 8.
Again, I had him at 11 or 12 first, but all the accolades. And yeah, it was inefficient, yes, but that's the only knock against him. 15 All-NBA, 2 scoring titles, 5 rings, 12-time All-Defense.
Jerry West had 12 All-NBAs too.
He also lost 8 finals.
You do have that.
Man, what a tough... Imagine going there 8 times. Probably knowing
And
you're
you're
going
a
to lose.
top 5 guy in the league for 12 years.
Yeah. But he got the 1. Would you take 1 to lose 9?
No.
No.
I'd rather go out like Melo or AI or Chuck.
Yeah, because they're still talked about like greatest to never do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
Reggie.
exactly.
You lose 9.
Yeah, you were there.
Yeah,
You should have done it.
you just sucked.
Yeah.
Number 7.
Shaq.
I put Shaq, most dominant, my favorite center of all time.
Number 7 is... I wanted to put him higher, but Hakeem.
Okay.
Huge Hakeem guy. 12-time All-NBA, 9-time All-Defense, and the best two-way big man of all time.
Number 6. I got Bill Russell.
Larry Bird.
6 is where I go Shaq.
Yeah.
Like you touched on, most dominant ever.
Number 5.
Ooh. Bill. Bill Russell.
Magic Johnson.
5, I go Larry Bird.
Okay.
Best point guard to ever do it. It's going to be hard for anybody to beat out Magic.
Only 13 years for Larry. If he would have stayed healthy and played another 4 or 5 years, I think he's definitely Mount Rushmore, but I like him at 5.
Gotcha.
Again, game changer.
For sure.
Number 4.
Magic Johnson.
I go Wilt.
I got Magic as well, and I don't hate Will at 4.
Wilt's on my Mount Rushmore.
Wow. I was not expecting Wilt to be in the top 5.
Yeah.
Close, but not there.
Again, the only knock against him is the era.
Yeah.
But he was so dominant against guys that.
But it doesn't get
He had to
knocked
play
against anyone else.
That's
That's the
true.
thing that makes no sense to me. And besides Wilt and Bill Russell, why does Kareem get a pass?
I guess because Kareem played in that. I mean, he won Finals MVP 14 years apart.
Which is true. That's a longevity thing, but that's completely different than the bulk of his career.
Number 4.
That's Wilt.
Magic.
Oh, yeah, Magic as well then.
Yeah.
3.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Kareem at 3. Now, I know me and Cam's 1 and 2 will be different.
And I know me and Evan have the same one.
It took a lot.
2, Jordan.
Almost I want to go 1A, 1B.
2, LeBron James.
No way.
I got LeBron at 2.
He's the biggest LeBron James fan.
I am not.
You were.
I was at one point.
You were.
At one point.
If he was still a Cleveland Cavalier, you would put him at 1.
Like, I watched him a little bit with the Lakers. I think my
You
thing.
did buy a LeBron Lakers jersey.
I did. I had one. I think my thing with LeBron, though, is at one point it became not about basketball. It became a lot about everything else other than basketball.
Well, that's when he moved to L.A.
And that's when I just really, I'm like, I can't do it anymore. Then you start thinking, like, outside of, like, oh, I love LeBron. You start looking back, 6 finals losses.
Hey,
I know he's won 4. That's,
but
that's insane.
it's way better than 1
And look at those losses, too, though.
Yeah,
against some of the best teams. And he beat the best team ever.
true.
Down
He
3-1.
has the greatest comeback of all time.
And look at like his teams.
I know.
mean, yes, he lost one with Wade and Bosch, but then he lost one with Zydrunas Ilgauskas and Larry Hughes.
Yep.
Like, yeah, of course you lost.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely think it is arguable. I just don't have him there.
I will say, if LeBron had a Pippen to start, like look at Jordan pre-Pippen and after Pippen, right? Nobody was like that for LeBron. Like Jordan couldn't get past the first round until Pippen came in.
True.
Then Pippen comes in and then they win.
True.
I'm not saying it's all on him, but it helps having help.
I agree.
LeBron had to go get help because Cleveland is not the place to go. I mean, the best player before LeBron in Cleveland is Mark Price.
Yeah.
Underrated.
Slightly, but properly rated overall, I think.
I think one thing I don't really like about LeBron either is I just can't stand how he tears teams apart. Like, there's been reports about him possibly coming back to Cleveland. I don't want him.
He is a terrible
General manager.
GM.
I don't want him back in Cleveland.
I agree.
Our team is great.
I agree. However, he's my number 1.
Again, I don't think it's a wrong answer anymore.
Yeah.
To do what he did for 20-plus years and still going and still playing at this elite level, hitting the 40,000-point mark, which is arbitrary, yes, but a testament to how long he's done it and how consistent he's been.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same reason why you say Kareem's great.
Yeah.
Because if the Lakers went to the finals this year, LeBron would win finals MVP 14 years apart.
There's nothing LeBron can't do on the court. He continues to get better throughout his career.
He's getting
Become a
better.
much better shooter.
Yeah, exactly.
But Jordan, 15 years, 10 scoring titles, 6-0 in the finals, 6 finals MVPs, 5 MVPs.
Should be 6.
And
Against-
also, you have to factor in the mysticality of Jordan, the aura of Jordan.
What do you mean?
He was bigger. He was the biggest, probably the most famous person on the planet.
Well,
Even
yeah,
now, you know?
but a lot of that was for stuff outside of basketball, though.
No, correct, yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, I don't disagree. Yeah, sure, he was huge, and he was game-changing in the merch department of basketball. Everybody talks about how his shoes are still super expensive and whatever, but it's like Shaq sold the most shoes of all time.
Yeah.
Little known fact.
So it's like, what are we talking about with shoes?
Yeah, I think, what's he have? Maybe 3 years left? If he wants to.
Yeah, it's pretty much completely up to him. Nobody's going to tell LeBron to retire.
Like,
So
once he retires, this is a debate we'll have forever.
Well, that's the thing, too. Like, when's Bronny going to get drafted now?
He won't be drafted.
shouldn't be. He should
No.
stay another year.
I saw something, and it
At
was like
least.
it was like Michael Jordan's son, who played college basketball, and who like wasn't very good. He averaged like 15 when he was in college.
Bronny averages 5.
Yeah, so like someone you thought sucked.
But he does come off the bench because he's a true freshman.
True.
So,
I don't see how he's going to translate to the NBA.
and I will say he does show glimpses of greatness,
Yeah.
but it's just inconsistent.
Yeah, and like I feel like LeBron would just force anybody's hand to get him, but like it's not going to be
Well, it's ultimately Bronny's choice.
true. It is true.
So I think Bronny's smart enough to know, like, yeah, I could go, but I'm not gonna. I'll be in the G League. I'll be overseas in a year.
Yeah.
I think he's smart enough to know. Let's wait till I start here at USC, see how that goes. I think he's wanting to develop his game to be a future star, not I'm LeBron's son.
Yeah.
And he probably takes that to a personal level. Like, I'm not
you
LeBron's
have
son.
to. Yeah,
I
you
am
have to.
Bronny. I am
My
not-
own person.
Yeah, not LeBron James Jr. No.
But I think any team that does draft him, their main goal is, well, if we draft him, we're getting LeBron too.
Maybe, and you could probably get LeBron on a budget just for him to play one season with his son.
Yeah, but is LeBron going to tear that team apart?
Not if that's his goal.
Because imagine Bronny going like Dallas. Like, who are you going to be able to bring in with like the type of money that Luka's making, and then you get LeBron, and then he's going to like ship everybody else off, and you get like
I don't see that
I
working.
I think he's out of that already.
minimum players.
I think he got AD, and he's been out of that since. I mean, they've been keeping all of their younger guys. Their entire bench is full of young guys. I think he's kind of got out of that mentality.
Which is good because
He's out of the, I need to win rings and whatever. I think he's solidified his legacy as the best to ever do it.
Yeah, like if he wins another ring, is that going to change
No.
the debate?
No,
No, he knows that.
it's also two different eras. Like the game's so much more different now than it was in Michael Jordan's era.
Yeah, I
And
know.
Wilt's era.
Watch those Michael Jordan highlights of how good that defense was. Guys just standing there doing nothing.
Yeah, but people also got like
Well, they were
knocked out.
that at the beginning
Yeah,
when Jordan struggled the most, but they were in that gray area of like, okay, we're not allowed to hit people anymore. Like we have to stop punching each other. So people were learning how to play defense basically all over again.
The dumbest argument of the entire debate is people that say, oh, well, LeBron couldn't play in Jordan's era.
He 100% could.
LeBron could play in any era.
The dude is 6'8",
He'd be
like
better
260.
in Jordan's era.
Yes. He would clothesline you as he's dunking on you. He would have been
Like, oh,
unreal.
he's a flopper. He'd whine too much. LeBron gets less foul calls than probably anybody else. Like, he gets fouled on every single drive because he's 6'8", 260.
Yeah.
You think he wouldn't be able to succeed in a more physical era?
He'd be
That's
fine.
insane.
That argument is so dumb.
Literally the worst one.
It's like, no, you have to take the skill set he has and plug it into what they were doing. When you go backwards. When you go forward, it's completely different.
Oh, yeah.
But when you go backwards, he is still as good as he is at basketball. He's going to be more physical
Mm-hmm.
because that's how he trained in basketball.
And against worse competition.
Exactly.
Overall.
Yeah, pretty much.
Take your average center now compared to the average center in 1993. Skill gap is insane.
Yeah.
Who's guarding LeBron? Night in, night
Who's
out.
guarding a center at 3 in 1993?
Exactly.
Who's guarding Cat?
Nobody.
Cat would be the best player of all time if he played in 1993, dude.
Probably.
And it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's you have to almost divide by era. Biggest omission? Any guy that, and then we mentioned Dirk, that you just wanted to put in. I wanted to put KG in. I wanted to put
KG.
Chuck in. Like I mentioned last week, you can't have everybody in the top 15.
No, you can't.
And we talked pre-show, like 10 years from now, Giannis probably cracks it.
Changes completely.
Jokic probably cracks it.
There's
Luka's
a
eventually
lot of
going to be
guys
in.
you're going to be like, man, I wish this guy was still on my top 15.
Like one person who
Like,
like
for me, I don't know if Kobe would be in my top 15 10 years from now.
It'd be a lot harder to put him in, for sure.
Which again, it sounds insane, but it's not.
And that's how I look at overrated guys. Like, who's the easiest guy to take off this list? Who is the most passable guy on this list? He is overrated.
One guy I definitely thought about, just based off of talent. I know he didn't have like the accolades and stuff, but it was Allen Iverson.
AI and T-Mac.
Thought about it for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, I love AI.
Vince Carter, if he would have retired in a reasonable time.
I agree. He stretched it out way too long.
But, yeah, I don't know. That's a completely different story. Probably Dominic Wilkins, I wish would have been on my top 15.
Another guy that
because I love Dominic Wilkins.
Like Reggie got the I played against Jordan treatment.
Yeah.
Like he was putting up Jordan-esque numbers his whole career.
Yeah.
But smaller market and no finals. Tough thing to overcome.
You got David Robinson.
Yeah.
Talent-wise, top 5.
Probably. Just nothing to show for it.
I feel like almost 30 to 15 is just as tough as 15 to 1.
Oh, I agree. Hands down.
I want to throw Steve Nash in there. He's definitely top 30.
Yeah.
I wanted to put him top 15, but it's just not quite there.
I think when you get to the top 30, you get a lot more active players.
For sure.
Oh, yeah.
Giannis is already in there.
Yeah.
I think Jokic is already in there.
Probably.
Caruso shouldn't even be allowed to be on a list, really.
We
It's not really fair.
exclude him.
Yeah.
Like he's number one. Like he's like the head that sits on top of Mount Rushmore. Nobody sees it because they want you to see these 4 guys, but there is one that's about 3 stories higher.
And here's one that I know you're not a huge fan of, but I think he's definitely top 30. Kawhi.
No, I mean, to say that I'm not a huge Kawhi fan is crazy. I think
You've been on record of being a little anti-Kawhi.
I think he's very talented. I think he's one of the best two-way players of all time.
He could just stay healthy.
Yeah.
If he could just stay healthy. And I think what he did to the Raptors was terrible.
Yeah.
For the long term. Yeah.
Not only that, but just like you bring hope to a city and then you disappear. That'd be like if LeBron would have left Cleveland in 2017.
Kind of a ring, though.
Yeah. But then
That's kind of a fair price to pay.
No, it's not. I would have rather Cleveland not have that ring if he would have left the next year.
If you're a Raptor fan, you trade that ring to be competitive now?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. Because who knows when the Raptors are going to be competitive again?
Outcast looks bleak.
Thing is, though, like, they traded away everybody, though. Like, Siakam going to the Pacers. Like,
They had to. They have to rebuild.
they do.
I mean, look how long it took the Cavs to finally realize, hey, we need to rebuild. Like, that whole stretch of why he was on the Heat to now is basically how long it took him to rebuild, because I don't count the years he came back because that wasn't a rebuild.
No.
That reset what they were already rebuilding. And then we just got lucky.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, we got lucky with Sexton. He was good. He's good. He's a good basketball player. We got really lucky with Garland because that was a shot in the dark.
Yeah.
He had no hype coming out of college.
No.
And I had to go back and watch his mixtape. And I was like, oh, okay, this kid is really good.
Yep.
At first, I was like, whoa, this is like a Mitchell Trubisky pick for the Bears. What are we doing? And I looked, and I'm like, okay, he'll probably be really good. And same thing with like Evan Mobley.
I love Mobley.
And then trading for Jared Allen. And
Yep.
then Donovan Mitchell.
Mhm.
It's like you made moves for the long term, where before you were making moves for the short term. And even getting Bickerstaff. You had to completely redo everything twice.
Yeah.
And then you finally get it right.
Yeah. Like, they'll definitely finish with plus 50 wins again this year.
Should.
I just hope they don't get first rounded by
The Knicks.
the I hated being at that game.
Yeah. But you went to a playoff game, so that's fun.
11 rows from the court.
God.
Yeah,
I can't imagine that environment.
It was my grandpa's first game ever. It was sick.
Yeah.
Hell of a way to start off your NBA watching career.
Yeah, I told him, I'm like, I started up in the nosebleeds. I'm like, I'm never going back. And I'm like, I don't think you'll ever sit there from sitting here. So
Yeah.
I'm like, if we can stay in the lower section, that's fine.
Yeah. Well, 11 to 15. Good range.
Yeah, for sure.
Half court. Even the corners aren't bad.
It'd be cool to go behind the benches.
Yeah, that would be cool. Throw a beer at somebody.
Is that Ron Artest out there? It's a good segue to the Cavs now. Like you mentioned, they got a huge come behind win tonight.
22 points.
That was your team of the week last week, Cam.
It was. Now I can say that they went 2-2 instead of
1-3.
1-3. So that's good news.
Expectations? You said 50 wins.
I think-
Hopefully, a first round win.
Yep. If we get out of the first round this year, I'm definitely more confident that Mitchell will stay. I hope he does. He seems pretty happy in Cleveland.
Especially after all that trade buzz that wasn't really trade buzz, but it was just the Sixers trying to get Mitchell.
Yeah, that's weird. Fake news.
I just hope if he does leave, he doesn't go to the Knicks. That would break my heart.
I don't think he would go to the Knicks.
I'm kind of like holding off getting like a Mitchell jersey until I see if he stays.
I would just get a Garland jersey and a Mobley jersey.
I got a Garland shirt.
Because even if you get a Mobley jersey, you can just change the stitching number to where if his brother stays.
Yeah,
You got options there.
this is true.
How do you feel against the Bucks and the Celtics? Because I think you're clearly the third team. With no Embiid, Philly's trash.
We
I
proved
think
it tonight, buddy,
This is true.
with no Mitchell.
With no Mitchell
job done.
and no Max Strus.
Maybe the best player on that team.
Man.
I still think the most wild thing is riding the hot hand for a full, beyond half-court buzzer beater.
Honestly, though, I can't think of anybody else I'd rather have take that shot.
I
at
would have
half
rather
court.
had Mitchell or Garland take that shot 10 times out of 10.
Honestly, I could see Garland because it
I
seems
will
like
say they would have gotten a lot more hate if they missed than Strus would if he missed.
oh, for sure.
Do you get hate for missing a 70-foot shot?
Absolutely.
Like you're not expected to make that.
Absolutely you would.
I don't think so.
Oh, he's not clutch. Look at that. The pressure got to him. I guarantee you that would be headlines the next day.
That was definitely a top 3 game though I've ever seen. That was a beautiful game.
Across the board. Yeah.
I almost bought tickets to that game.
Should have.
The thing is though, like thinking about it, like watching it on TV with my dad, and then not having to go through traffic at the end.
Yeah.
It was kind of sick. I like going to games, but watching them on TV, I feel like it's almost better.
Yeah. Going to a couple games, very high energy games too, like playoffs.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of where I'm at, where like going to a game is cool. Don't get me wrong, but
Mhm.
I'm at the point where I just want to go to playoff games, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, do
'Cause
you want to
you're
go
not-
watch like Cavs, Hornets?
Yeah, you're not really going for the game, you're going for the experience.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's hard to go for the game if you're going live.
Yeah.
So, like, you have to, I mean, especially with the people around you, if you're like, oh, yeah, we made that, but that was a terrible play, they're like, dude, what are you talking about, dude? And it's like, okay, I'll just cheer when you cheer and boo when you guys boo, then, I guess.
Yeah, I've actually been to 2 playoff games for the Cavs. First one I ever went to was when LeBron was still there and they swept the Raptors. And I went with Trey. See, I think my thing is that was my first game. In every playoff game, they give you a shirt. So my next game I went to and I didn't get a shirt, I was kind of disappointed. And they
They
played
set the bar too high.
yeah, they played the Brooklyn Nets. Garland was like, I didn't know he wasn't going to play. He didn't play last minute. He didn't play the next game I went to either. So like, yeah, getting shirts is peak.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have gone tonight though and got a Travis and Jason Kelsey bobblehead.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
the promo
They were,
tonight?
they were at the game.
Damn.
They were in Cleveland
That's
tonight.
dope.
Yeah, that would have been sick.
Yeah, so
Cleveland Browns, question mark?
Dun dun. Heyo. Now you don't want that circus that comes with.
I got a
Travis.
shirt to the first game I went to, too. I just stole it from a child.
Steal is a strong word.
It was.
I've heard the story. It was a steal.
100%.
That kid probably still lays in bed at night thinking about that giant-headed dude that stole his T-shirt.
Yeah, it was the T-shirt gun shirt. It's a terrible shirt. It's like half the mascot's face on this side, half the mascot's face on this side. And he was it was like falling, and I just reached over and just
dude.
scooped it up.
Hey, he should have bodied up, dude. He should have boxed
I'm
out.
saying, dude, have your dad catch it.
his
Quit
own
being a
fault.
Puss.
Hey, not everybody gets a trophy, dude. Come back and get him next time.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, when you first said you stole it, I legit thought you like this kid had it in hand and you're just like swipe on your way out.
Basically,
Like
it was basically.
He picked the kid up from his ankles and shook him. Took the shirt.
Yeah,
Was it-
what a time. It was a terrible shirt. I don't even have it anymore.
Was it the size?
Oh, you went after and got the size.
Is that how that works?
Yeah,
Oh, I never thought
are
about
you
that.
serious?
yeah.
I never
Dude,
knew that.
Both my shirts I got for playoff games are extra larges.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, I wear a size small.
Yeah.
I thought you just what you get is what you get.
That's insane. Yeah,
No,
no.
they said like you can just exchange it for whatever.
That never even crossed my mind before
No.
to even ask.
I know what I'm doing next time.
Like, hey man, I got
Yeah.
a medium. Can I switch this out, please? I
Yeah.
clearly can't wear this. Well, you want to mention the best ever Rookie of the Year race?
Chet and Wemby is definitely the best ever.
I got Chet.
I do too. But
He's not going to win, but yeah, I think we all agree. I think
I mean,
unanimous.
Wemby's getting way more hype for everything that Chet's doing. So,
My thing is, though, is
and
like,
yes, I said that correctly.
I heard you.
I agree.
But
But how are you going to win on a team that's that bad?
That's what I'm saying. Like you got Chet, who was the vital piece they needed last year to be successful in the playoffs,
And they're the 1 seed right now.
and they're the 1 seed,
Yeah.
and the Spurs are the last seed.
13 wins.
Yeah, like even the Magic last year were better than 13 wins.
And Paolo won that in what, 2 months?
Yeah,
Like November, we're like, oh, this is clearly a
but he was
one-dog
also
race.
not shooting like 13% from three.
Yeah.
So this do-it-all god with a bunch of turnovers and a low 3-point percentage, kind of struggling.
Like
So
Chet's,
50, 40, 90
yeah,
by any means.
Chet's
but-
efficient.
Efficient as hell.
I think
My
he's like
gosh.
the most efficient player in the league.
Pretty sure,
His
yeah.
true shooting is like 79% right now.
I wasn't expecting it, especially last year with him being like so small.
He bulked up, dude.
Yeah, I know he put
He
on some
did
muscle.
exactly what he needed to do.
What we told him to do on this show.
Exactly. He heard us.
Long-time listener, actually. He's actually our next guest.
Book it.
And we're going there.
Hopefully he's buying the plane tickets.
Already bought. It's actually the Thunder team plane coming in.
Hell yeah.
Full experience.
I hope so.
We might even
Courtside.
get some playing time.
Wow.
He did mention that.
I think I'd be able to hit a shot. Maybe get a steal.
You get $1 million right now, or $10 million if you get a full half of playing time to make one shot.
Oh, 10 million.
Guaranteed?
Yeah.
You're making one?
I think I can guaranteed to make one shot.
You're at least catching an easy pass somewhere.
I can stand in a corner,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and at some point I'm going to be open. And
Shay's going to find you.
they're not going to stop passing to the wide open guy in the corner. So
It's
even
bad.
if I have to go Reggie Bullock, or even if I have to go Michael Porter Jr.,
You're 1 for 9, but
Oh,
you got that
dude.
one.
if I got that 10 mil, that's all that matters.
Yeah, I have no chance.
Yeah, you said you were just a rebounder, box out guy.
Yeah,
So-
I was a glue guy.
We'll have
Yeah.
to get you playing with us sometime.
I don't think you want that.
Dude, hey, you can come out there and play defense.
You'd be shocked.
First things first, let's get the cardio back in line.
We
So I might have
we
a heart
accept
attack.
all players of all talent levels.
We do. We have a friend named Haney.
Of all talent levels,
Man,
or non-talent levels.
You going full 5-on-5, full court?
we have.
We have.
Ooh, that's
We
a
have
lot,
enough.
man. That's a
Normally
lot.
we just do like 3-on-3, half court.
Yeah.
I'm much better suited for that.
If it is full court, I definitely prefer 4s. It's more spread out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
5's too much.
agreed.
Might come out and ball a little bit. Come out of retirement. Like pull a hammy.
If I don't pull hammies, I don't think you will either.
You never know.
As a personal trainer, I recommend stretching.
Yeah, I know we'll have a strong stretching technique.
We'll have,
pregame.
we'll have like a warm up.
Yeah.
I got it.
I will say if I'm playing though, I'm going short shorts.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Letting the
letting the bag out.
maybe not quite the bag, but the pasty white thighs are definitely making an appearance.
Going like
Maybe
crop top.
sunburn the next day.
Crop top.
I thought we were going
short
shirts v skins. No.
We have. It's rare, but
Normally, I mean, we all just know each other.
yeah.
So even with people we don't know, I've never played where we've done shirts v skins.
I think I've done it twice.
About-
It's painful.
How about skins v skins? Let's go all out, dude.
But yeah, normally it's just like I got that guy,
Yeah.
and we're just like, hey, my team over here, and we're like, all right, I think I got this. And then for the first 5 minutes, there'll be passes to the wrong guys, and then that's it. Then it's good.
I'm actually going to wear my MLB replica pants for that
So the
game.
bag's out.
Everything's out. That's a good defensive tactic, right? You want
Yeah.
to back me down right here, dude? No way. Ain't no way, dude. I'm in close. And we're sweating.
I
too.
use my knees when people back me down.
A little forearm shiver.
You get a knee in the ass.
Yeah.
Some people like that kind of thing.
Stay away from my crotch, dude.
Evan, question, comment?
Definitely not.
Yeah, I go straight for the knees. I learned that a long time ago.
Well, I know if you're backing me down, I'm looking Dirk fadeaway every time,
Yeah.
and I'm not stopping it.
Well, then you get the up and under because you bite on the Dirk fade.
I might pull the chair out from under you, though.
Maybe.
That could always work.
Could.
Big man tumbling down.
Then I'm making the backwards over the head.
Ultimate insult.
I want to see a one-on-one between you two.
There's not even a
11-0.
He never played basketball. He was a baseball player.
I did play basketball. I played like church league. We played 1 year.
That doesn't
We
count.
played 1 year rec ball. Went 0-12.
Wow.
Yeah. We had even our best player was like average at best. He was like 5'7", white dude, shaggy hair. Thought he was a gunner,
Oh.
and he kind of had to be because everybody else sucked.
Yeah, but I mean, at least he had confidence. Everybody else could have
he
just
did-
had fake confidence too.
It might have been Jordan Poole.
Ooh.
That's rough.
See Celtics. You say the big dog on campus, I believe was your note.
Oh, they're the big dogs in town for sure. Even though they lost tonight, 3 50-point plus wins against 3 different teams, first time ever. They're pretty much unstoppable. I mean, even tonight is a 1-point win. Yeah, we came back from 22 down, but a 1-point win. I mean,
Is that their year?
that's the team to beat.
Definitely in the East.
Yeah, I think anybody could beat anybody on any given night, but in a 7-game series, yeah, I don't. It's gonna be rough trying to beat them.
No matter who you are.
Yeah, I think maybe the only team, not even in the East, is the Nuggets.
Be a hell of a series.
It would-
Again.
Mhm.
I'm here for it. A couple injury things. Brunson, I think,
we
should
did
be.
breeze over LeBron's 40,000. Like you just said, we'll go into LeBron's 40,000 after
It was
top
referenced.
15.
You kind of said it wasn't that big of a deal. Will anybody ever do it again?
Yes, Luka Doncic.
I don't know if Luka wants to play long enough.
If he does, then yeah, he will.
Plus, it's going to take extreme conditioning, and that's
But
not
it's not.
Luka's strong suit, though.
It's not, though.
You don't think?
He could stay in this same shape for the next 20 years.
It's easy to do now at 25, but when he's 35,
But he's not doing anything athletic.
you don't think?
No.
Yeah, like he's already a fourth of the way there.
And he just turned 25.
Like last
Yeah.
week.
I mean,
So-
he may not even need to play for 20 years to do it.
13 and done.
Like he's averaging like 40 a game.
Yeah. So I think Luka's probably the closest to be able to.
Yep.
I can't think of another young guy.
Unless Steph wanted to play till he was 50 just as a shooter.
Yeah, but even then, people would put an asterisk by it.
You think?
Yeah, 100%. If he was just a Kyle Korver type and completely changed his game just to keep playing and shooting threes, that's it, you would then put an asterisk by Steph's legacy also. People would, for sure.
He's already set in stone, though.
Nothing's set in stone.
I think Seth could kill Klay Thompson on the court tomorrow.
Seth could. You're right.
They'd double team him.
That would not mean anything
No,
if Seth did.
I did speak wrong on that. If Seth Curry played till he was 50, just as a shooter,
He could.
he'd probably do that without
Yeah.
hurting his legacy.
Yeah, he could.
You played for probably every single team in the league by that point.
Beat Shaq out for the Rainbow Man.
Shaq's not the record, though, is he? Who has the most?
Was it it's a guard.
As far as a predominant player,
Okay, I mean, yeah.
like, yeah, there's your guys like Robert Ory, who has 13 rings because he just played for the Spurs and Lakers and did nothing. But
Big Shot Bob? Come on now.
what do you get that nickname after he made 1 3?
Hey, that's all it takes. That's all it takes.
He made 1 3 against the Pistons in 1982, and they called him Big Shot Bob.
It's
as
already
a
a 40.
joke.
It's a 40-point game already.
They called that to him as a joke,
Hey,
and he just rolled with it.
Bobby Big Shot. And his entire life, he just runs with it.
I'm Big Shot Bob, dude. You can talk to me like that?
Nobody even called him that. He's like, he made the shot and said, "I'm Big Shot Bob."
That's probably what happened.
Like, oh, Bob, come on now.
No, there was an announcer. Oh, Big Shot Bob Horry with another 3.
Sound like you're going for Big Shot Bob Cousy there,
They
who
probably
just missed my top 15.
It's so hard. That's a guy who is very difficult to
I
put him
don't
in.
even know. I looked at a few top 30 lists. He didn't make any of them. So talk about different eras.
It was witchcraft to dribble with your left hand then. He doesn't deserve to be in it, in my opinion.
Yeah, change the game.
There are certain eras that do not matter.
Influential.
Nobody
for sure.
says Johnny Unitas is a top 50 football player of all time.
No. Even though record-wise, he's way better than like the guys of his era, like Joe Namath, who clearly is average at best. Unitas was pretty damn good.
No, I agree.
But
But
yeah,
like,
how often do you hear go quarterback? I'm taking Unitas any day of the week.
yeah,
2-minute drive, I'm down 4, give me Unitas.
you don't.
2-minute drive down 4, who you taking? You can't take Brady. And honestly, you can't take Mahomes either. That's too easy.
Aaron Rodgers.
Hell, you don't even need 2 minutes. That's way too much time.
I need like 10 seconds.
13, I'm throwing 2 50-yard bombs.
Yeah,
and
one pass.
10
walking
seconds,
off.
even 60 yards. Taking Rodgers.
Easy.
That's 2 passes.
Yep.
One 55 yards, the other one a 5-yard shuffle pass.
Yep.
God, I do miss those shovel passes he did, though.
Next year. Or this year.
Hopefully.
They're coming back. Dude.
Hopefully.
Coming back hot to a city near you. Aaron Rodgers shovel pass.
Do they come? Who do they play next year, division-wise?
No idea. But it's probably a city near you. I mean, if they play the Colts, that's pretty close.
Yeah. Probably the closest. Well, no, Cincinnati.
Yeah, besides Cincinnati.
I'm thinking like NBA terms.
Detroit's not that far.
No.
Chicago's not that far.
Yeah, you can go to Cleveland.
See, they go to, of course, division. They go to Jacksonville, to Tennessee, to Arizona, to San Fran, and to Pittsburgh would be the closest.
Also not that far.
I hate Pittsburgh, though. Like, just going there.
Jets Steelers in Pittsburgh as a neutral fan. Watching 2 great quarterbacks
Definitely
duke it out.
don't want to be wearing your Aaron Rodgers jersey in Pittsburgh.
No, you wouldn't make it back. Now, do you want to go injury talk?
Yeah, that's fine. We can do that.
Again, Brunson should be okay. X-rays are pretty positive there. Not positive X-rays. It was a good outlook. He should be okay.
Yeah, there was nothing in the X-ray.
Scotty Barnes, not so good. Out for the year.
That's unfortunate. The only bright spot left on the Raptors.
Is that what you said earlier? That was the only something.
Bright spot.
You can look at it that way.
Yeah, he's shining. That's for sure.
And then Russ, fractured hand. Potentially back for the playoffs.
Should be.
Going to miss him, though, for sure, right?
For sure.
Talk about an underrated guy that is definitely going to make an impact there.
It'll change who they're playing in the first round for sure.
West is totally up in the air right now.
Like, the play-in teams could win. I think right now the play-in teams are the Lakers, the Mavericks, the Suns, and the Warriors.
Yeah, the only one that I don't think could go far is the Warriors.
Really?
Honestly,
On paper, they shouldn't, but
That-
experience does count for a lot of things.
that ship has sailed.
Other than their loss the other night to Boston, though, like,
Yeah,
putting
even
Clay,
then, they're
putting Clay on the bench, they're doing a lot better.
And he's been a lot better.
Yeah, he's averaging 2 more points a game.
yeah, but that ship has sailed. Defense isn't great.
They're
The offense-
undersized.
They're very undersized. Their offense is still very stale and the exact same it's been. So come playoff time, if you're shooting under 40% from 3 as a team, you're going to lose if you're the Warriors.
So you know what they need? Draymond to go punch somebody and get momentum back.
Could be true.
That's he's been on too good behavior.
Draymond Green has notoriously injured stars in losing series
Correct.
for them to win the series.
I saw a fun little video the other day. It was he did a full simulation of 5 Draymond Greens against 5 players. Draymond is choked out on the court.
500 to nothing. Draymond Green's
4-3 Draymond.
checks out.
It was like Nurkic, Gobert, Jordan Poole, 2 other guys I forget. But if you can get a full starting roster of guys you've assaulted on the court, might have a slight problem.
Got Steven Adams.
He was in there.
Yeah.
Yep. Of all the guys you don't want to assault
What a
or wouldn't want, like
Just
he's
a
the nicest guy in the league.
Yeah.
Aquaman. Like,
Yeah.
Haven't seen him in the same room.
Neither have I. As far as I know, Steven Adams is Jason Momoa.
Alter ego.
Could be.
That's why he wasn't playing a whole lot. They say he was hurt. He was actually filming Aquaman 2.
Checks out. Since that has released, he has been playing more.
And a big role in the next Dune movie, so I hear.
Yeah. That does
So-
check out.
Maybe the next 3 or 4, depending on how many get made.
He might have to retire.
You mentioned your team of the week was 2-2. My Kings lost to Denver, beat Minnesota in overtime, and then lost to the Bulls for some reason.
Yeah, we lost to the Bulls and the Knicks and beat the Pistons and the Celtics tonight.
How about your new team of the week?
I forgot.
Well, I'm going Wild.
No, you're not.
I am.
No, you're not.
I am.
I'll give you one chance to change what you're about to say.
I'm going for it. Because they haven't been picked all year. They won't be picked all year. They're on a 2-game win streak. The San Antonio Spurs. They got Houston twice, the Warriors twice, and at the Kings.
You couldn't have picked them for a worse stretch either.
Could be 0-5.
You couldn't have picked a worse stretch.
Got to take a chance, man.
Like there's two. You could argue that they're going to beat the Rockets.
Shouldn't.
One
But
of
they could.
two they'll probably take against the Rockets. I don't think they beat the Warriors either time.
Shouldn't.
And they definitely shouldn't beat the Kings.
Should not. Could be 1-4, man. Got to mix things up here. I can't take the Mavs again.
At this point, I'm probably just going to pick the Cavs for the rest of the year.
Team of the year? Cleveland Cavaliers?
Yeah.
I'll allow it.
Because that's who I'm watching the most of. And to take away from my Cavs time, it's starting to make me mad.
You're getting hopeful, is what I'm hearing.
Getting hopeful.
I think it's the best time to be hopeful.
Not for a championship, but a deep playoff run. That's success to me.
7-game series, do you beat the Bucks?
Yes.
I agree, yeah. I don't think we beat the Celtics, but I think we could get as far as the Bucks. I think we could get to the conference title.
There's too much stuff going on with the Bucks, like locker room wise. I think team chemistry wise.
And
I don't
Doc
think
Rivers still hasn't figured out why he's coaching the Bucks.
Yeah. So
I got a report today about that. Actually, he's still wondering.
Does he know he is coaching the Bucks?
That's unconfirmed as well.
Does he know he's coaching?
I think he knows he's coaching. He looked pretty annoyed the other day when Thanasis Antetokounmpo got a technical from the bench, and you can't get rid of him because that's Giannis's brother. I think Thanasis has 340 something NBA points. Why is he
And
even
he's
have
been
a job?
in the league for what, 6 years?
Dude, is there a bigger freeloader
I think
in
he's
sports?
the oldest, too. So he was drafted first to the Bucks. He's never changed teams. Then you draft his younger brother. You could have gotten rid of him the first 2 years.
Before Giannis became Giannis. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Giannis decided that he was going to get 75 pounds of muscle and be one of the best to ever do it.
It's so weird going back to watch rookie Giannis highlights. Not even the same guy.
It was all there. He just had no mass.
Yeah.
And then, then they're like, he's like, yeah, you got to keep my brother.
What a great gig. I get to go out and play 3 minutes a game, get teed up on the bench with no consequence.
Yep. And your brother's going to split his 50-piece chicken nugget from Chick-fil-A.
Hell yeah.
What a life, man.
What do you think Thanasis, what do you think he makes per season?
Probably $500K.
The minimum?
I'm gonna say like 1.2 mil.
I don't know what the minimum is either. So
Vet minimum, I think, is like, I want to say 550, but that could be NFL.
it's probably around that. It's not even counted in capital.
He's playing on
He's just Brock
Brock
Purdy's
Purdy
contract. Yeah,
last season he made 1.8 mil.
that's insane. That might be close to the vet minimum in the NBA, though.
That very well could be.
Yeah.
It's going up like $200K each year, so it probably is.
Since they just do the same thing the MLB does, the luxury tax or
Yeah.
whatever, they have no salary cap.
What a gig. That'll wrap up NBA. Want to get out of here, Evan?
I think so. I'm gonna ready to head home.
Great having you on. Absolute blast. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as we did.
Yeah, I appreciated it. I appreciate you guys just sponsoring me every week. I hope that I can contribute as much as possible, sharing stuff, being on maybe again. Who knows?
Oh, yeah. Doors always open.
But yeah, I definitely thank you guys. I'm excited to continue to grow my business. First and foremost, I just thank God for everything I got. That's the only reason I'm here. So I appreciate it.
And give us your info one last time, my friend.
All right, phone number 937-308-6324. You got the website at allthingsfit.org, and the email is allthingsfitness15@gmail.com.
Episode 77, back after this. Let's hit him with the mid-roll ad.
Well, welcome back, everybody. But as you know, this episode is brought to you by Wonka Frenchies, as well as All Things Fitness, as you just talked to Evan. But Wonka Frenchies, best in the business as far as French Bulldogs. Big rope, fluffy, standard, dogs of all prices, making big moves, top of the line breeds, top of the line DNA, history. I mean, beautiful dogs. Check them out.
Friend of the show, Bobby Brewer. First appearance there from Evan. I thought he killed it.
Thought he did good.
Very natural. Good speaker.
Let us know what you guys think.
Good voice. Not just him, but the whole idea of having different guests throughout the shows coming up.
Yeah.
We wanted to have people on that have some sort of other thing to talk about, not just come in and talk sports. Like,
especially in the off season.
Yeah, Evan has his business. I'd love to get Papa K on here, talk about his fighting career.
Yeah.
Like I don't know his schedule right now, but definitely want him on. But yeah, I thought he was fantastic.
Yeah, I think he did a great job.
Definitely be a repeat guest.
Definitely.
NCAA
has a new queen.
She's been queen for a while, but now officially on top of the charts against my Lady Bucks in a win. Caitlin Clark breaks the all-time points record
in Division I history.
Now,
obviously not Division II because she doesn't play Division II.
I do think they're almost two separate records. One, Pete played 3 years without a three-point line, like 50 years ago. Different game.
Truly a time where you can say it's a different era.
Yeah, you can't compare those directly.
Yeah, that's like the first guy who
invented driving, actually.
Beat out the passing record when there was no forward passing allowed.
Like Bob Cousy, starting to dribble.
Inventing the dribble.
Inventing the multi-hand dribble, at least.
Some would say.
I think the women's conference tourneys start this week. I'm going to put a bet in for Iowa all the way, because why not?
Might as well, right?
I think you can parlay that with the men's tourney champ, who I have no
That's
clue.
That's impossible.
Yeah, no clue yet.
Plus 60,000.
Insane odds, surely. Even picking the two favorites would be like probably plus 10,000. But my favorite new player, and he should be your new favorite player as well. The fact that you haven't heard of him yet actually is kind of shocking to me.
You called him Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Abdul-Jabbar. Let me get his exact name because I think I messed up a little bit last time. It's Robbie Avila, Indiana State. I think he's a junior center.
Give me some intangibles here.
Wish we had Shane pulling up pictures. That's Robbie Avila.
Beast, goggled legend. I think I have seen him.
Yeah. He's a doughy white fella.
What's the intangibles?
With goggles. He's kind of a gritty, gutty guy. He's kind of a real gym rat.
Do you know what intangibles are?
Exactly what I'm describing.
And it's height and weight and stuff.
It's not intangibles.
Pretty sure it is.
No, intangibles are things you can't put in a box score, like hustle and determination.
Intangibles is also included with height and weight, because you don't put height and weight in a box score.
I don't think that's how it works. But he is 6'10", and I believe about 285.
Whew, big boy.
Plays a smooth game.
Big cream, if you will.
Absolutely. Excellent bag in the post. Very good passer. You could say Jokic-esque, but almost makes it look even easier. Plays the game at his own speed. Indiana State, I think, is like 26-5. They're probably going to have to win their conference tourney to get in the big dance, just because their best win is like...
I'll have to watch Big Cream highlights.
Drake. Yeah, pull up a mixtape when you get home. Duke and ball. And hopefully, because every tournament needs a player like that you never heard of before, kind of takes the world by storm. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Ricky Avila should be that guy.
Robbie.
I said Ricky the other day, too.
Yeah.
I'm like, to be fair, I've not seen him play yet. Just highlights, but
yeah, that's the final week of the regular season for men's, too, right?
Yep, next weekend will be the last. I think Duke, Carolina play Sunday, and then conference tourneys start Thursday, with selection Sunday after that. Thankfully, because, March is a slow time of year.
Yeah.
So going through spring training, not quite the NBA playoffs yet, so tourney time is a bright spot for sure.
We got some NHL news.
That we do. Your boy.
My boy Matt Rempe still, now he's being challenged by the enforcer's back.
Denying challenges, but you can only say no for so long.
True.
Eventually you got to put your foot down.
Rumor has it Dana White's putting the heavyweight belt on the line.
Dude's 6'8". Those a mean right.
Yeah.
Let's see. Winner of Stipe John Jones gets Matt Rempe.
I'm down.
UFC debut for the title.
Yeah, he can't stop, won't stop, ain't never going to stop. That's what I know for sure. And that's exactly what I wrote down.
That's what he said himself post-game.
Pretty much.
He's clearly bruised up, black eyes, still playing, and still having guys like, hey, man, you want to go? Want to drop gloves here? Like, no, not really.
And then he flies at you going 65 mile an hour on skates and just lowers his shoulder.
Absolute tank.
Just destroying people, man.
That's a lot of momentum at 18 miles per hour.
Yeah.
With that body weight.
Yeah. Then we had Alexander Barkov with the assist of the year.
One of the best I've seen all time.
Not even close. I mean, he juggled a puck in air, slapped it down right in front of the goalie, and then his teammate slapped it on in.
You ever try to juggle a puck with a hockey stick?
I've never tried to juggle anything.
That's a fair point.
So, because I know I can't do it.
You ever actually try to juggle for real, though?
Yeah.
Like, technically, 2 isn't juggling.
No.
You're just
two's
throwing
easy,
2 balls.
dude.
Yeah, anybody can do 2. You throw the third one, I've never felt less coordinated.
Yeah, it's impossible.
Clearly. And you watch guys do like 7 or 8 balls. Like, yeah,
And it's. I think I could if somebody threw the ball in for me.
really?
Because you never stop. Once you
Just
get it
clear your
started, it's
rotation.
the same.
Yeah.
But it's starting it with your 2 ball on the pinky finger and middle index finger,
Ring finger.
ring finger, and then the 1 in the 3 fingers, baseball style. To that just doing all that with one hand, and it's supposed the 2 fingers do something different than the 3 fingers. I can't.
It's a lot of dexterity.
Yeah,
And fine motor skills.
which is odd because I was really good at card tricks.
Was?
I was. Well, probably still could be.
It's like riding a bike, right?
Sleight of hand, still probably not all the way there, but
We're going to rehone these skills. Card magic and juggling.
I can never juggle, so there's no rehoning of
But we're
that.
going to start honing.
But you can juggle, and I can do card magic.
The dynamic duo right there. Take the show on the road.
Yeah, exactly.
Remember, when I was like probably 12.
We're sitting there just not even, we're just doing card magic, and we're like, yeah, so how about them Cowboys, man?
That's multi-talented right there.
Yeah, and you're juggling.
Mike McCarthy again, not getting fired as the 5th ball comes in right here. I got better hands than
While smoking a cigar.
than CD Lamb. Yeah.
And you,
That's impressive.
And you do one-handed, and you take a sip of your whiskey, and ash your cigar real quick, and you go back to 2.
Talk about to the moon. Joe Rogan who?
You need to learn how to juggle.
I'll get on it. And I'll secretly learn it and then bust it out when I'm a master
That's
out
fine.
of the blue.
And then I'll bring my penalty flags and challenge your call.
No, because then when I'm juggling, you throw an ace of spades at me, knock the ball right out of midair.
Exactly.
You might be actually Gambit.
I have always wanted a pair of throwing cards.
Is that why you started card magic?
Yes,
Had to be, right?
it is.
That makes perfect sense.
I also learned how to, like, the form to throw a card.
Yeah.
It's very hard.
Dude, watching like card throwing videos, it's a serious problem.
Yeah,
Like I'll go down a 6-hour rabbit hole.
but it's so cool. But yeah, I know the form to throw cards.
Okay, so rehome that skill.
That's like riding a bike.
If I had a deck of cards in here right now, we get on that.
Be careful.
Yeah, I was probably 12 or 13 watching Mind Freak, Chris Angel. Remember that?
Yeah.
And he did the stupidest trick ever. Basically, you just tape a toothpick to the back of your thumb, and you hold it in a way that you can see it. And when you open your hand up, of course, toothpick goes behind your thumb.
Yeah.
And I showed like 10 people that. And I was like proud of it. I'm like, oh, you never know how I did that, do you?
That's like when we used to, well, I guess in school, we would do the pencil down the hand, like it was
Yeah.
going up your nose.
Yeah.
You pull it out the other side.
Whoa.
Yeah, that was
dude.
like elementary school, though, not 12 or 13.
I was a late bloomer, you know. That's the old homeschooler in me. Straight to UFC here.
Oh, yeah.
Huge card this week. And kind of a coincidental card.
'Cause it is on my buddy's bachelor party that I will be at. So 2 bangers, 2 for 2 on UFC cards on bachelor parties.
Who
Which
fought
we thought would never be done again, by the way.
to this level, especially? The first bachelor party card, Dustin Poirier was knocked out.
The second one, Dustin Poirier is going to get knocked out.
I hope not. Hopefully he does some knocking out. But even every prelim is a banger. The early prelims are stacked. on paper is as good, if not better, than 300.
Yeah, honestly.
So let's start. Pedro Munoz, Kyler Phillips. Again, I think an early prelim. So like 7 o'clock, which you'll be
Inebriated.
You'll be in orbit.
Should be. Well, I don't want to say in orbit.
You'll be in orbit.
That's implying something else is going down that won't be going down.
Well, I don't want to make any kind of implications. Any kind of
inebriated.
untowards.
I'll
Yeah.
be unable to perform certain tasks such as driving, walking,
Throwing cards.
throwing cards.
If I don't get a video of at some point on that trip of you throwing cards, I'll be upset.
I could probably make that happen.
Like have Sherm hold something in his teeth, like a pencil or whatever, sideways. You just chuck a card, cut the pencil right in half, or maybe you miss, hit him in the face.
It'd be funny either
Wedding's
way.
canceled.
Be funny either way.
You can't tell that
But
story.
you don't
though.
overhand.
Well,
You don't throw cards like a baseball.
Well, you know, you little like a dart. You know.
Not like a dart.
No?
You backhand, and you kind of go down. And when you go down, it flattens out and spins. It's super cool.
The more you know.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Let's see. I did put a 5-fight parlay. I did not take the Munoz Phillips fight, but again, that should be a banger. I'm going to go Pedro Munoz. Mateusz Gamrot, huge favorite against RDA, who, yes, is still fighting.
It's beyond me, man. That dude's been fighting forever.
And fighting only the best.
Yeah.
Like, probably best resume of all time.
Yeah, honestly.
But I did put Gamrot on that parlay. Caitlin Chukagian, who has since, I believe, been married, and her name is now like Credenza or something like that.
Kermanera,
Sermonera.
maybe?
Yeah. The artist formerly known as Caitlin Chukagian against Macy Barber. I think it's a very sneaky fight. When in doubt, though, you take the prettier one, Macy Barber. Again, not
I don't know.
on my parlay.
Caitlin's a slight dog, yeah, but
She can bang.
there's no reason for it. This should be a lot closer. Minus 210 is kind of ridiculous.
Is it 210?
Yeah.
I like that moving a little bit. Yeah, it's a little insulting.
That's a little ridiculous, honestly. I know Macy Barber's young and coming up,
Caitlin's got hands.
and she's 13-2, but Chukagian is 18-5.
Yeah, seasoned vet.
Seasoned vet, but still throwing hands.
Yeah.
Should be a banger.
I mean, every one of these should be a banger, except maybe your least favorite fighter of all time.
Oh my God, Jelton Almeida.
Curtis Blades against Jalton
I hope
Almeida.
Curtis Blades absolutely scalps this guy.
Literally.
So be it.
First time in the octagon.
Second time in the octagon.
Oh, I haven't seen the first one.
Oh, I thought you were saying Almeida's first time in the octagon.
I mean, a literal scalping.
Oh yeah, probably would be.
I believe would be the first.
Maybe back in the day.
UFC 1. There's no weight classes yet.
There's no rules.
Soccer kicks. Scalpings. Back when men were men.
Exactly.
I like Almeida. But Blade should just take him down and wrestle him.
It's a minus 110, minus 110.
Yeah, pretty much a pick 'em. I did put Jailton on my parlay. Just please don't be as boring as your last fight.
I like Blades just because Blades is going to absolutely thrash him and just sprint at him with uppercuts and clotheslines. And
Veteran. Should have a good game plan.
RKOs, Stone Cold Stunners.
That'd be pretty dope. A little sweet chin music. Could you imagine seeing that in the octagon?
That'd be sick.
Somebody's got to try it eventually.
I mean, it kind of happens, just not with that exact
That style.
form.
Yeah. I want the build up and everything.
Yeah,
Crouch, the
while
knee
he's
slaps.
getting up.
Yeah. Then you miss and you lose the fight.
Ugh.
It's a bad luck. And then the first fight on the pay-per-view.
Piotr Jan versus Song Yadong.
Coin flip for me.
I like Song. I think Piotr is kind of on that gatekeeper route. I like Song.
Both good strikers. I feel like, yes, Jan's on a cold streak, but he's fighting the best of the best. So maybe he was overrated prior to that, or maybe we're kind of underrating him now because he has lost. I think
Probably
his past
overrated.
3. But I think I'm going to go with him slightly over Song Yadong. I'm going to go by decision, but I did not put that on my bet. It's too close to call. This might be my favorite fight on the whole card.
Frobert Burns versus Jack Della Maddalena.
Sweet Gilly Burns. against Big Jack.
It's tough.
Burns is a dog, which I think is a little shocking. Man, I love Gilly Burns.
Especially as a dog.
Yeah.
I mean, JDM's great and will be great.
I think he's on his way to being great. This is the big fight.
And maybe this is what solidifies his greatness.
Coming out party.
But I don't know. I like Burns too.
I couldn't tell you how the hell the fight's going to go. Gilly's a better wrestler, I think, but he just stood and banged with Hamzat.
Yeah.
He's an entertaining fighter. I don't think he's going to sit there and lay and pray and hope to get a dub. I think he's going to put on a show.
He knows how to fight. He knows how to put on a show.
I think he's going to pressure, and you're going to see Jack pull the back foot, counter punching.
Probably.
Avoid a little pressure and throw back when you can. But I'm taking Gilly Burns, and I'm putting that on the parlay. Then the unknown.
It's not. Kevin Holland all day.
Yeah, I don't know enough about MVP.
I know he's like 40 years old, wrestled or fought in Bellator.
I think, Bellator X.
And is supposedly a knockout artist. But I don't know. Holland's got 2 inches of reach on him. He's 5 years younger.
I didn't even see odds on this fight when I last checked.
It's
I find it hard to believe MVP's a
minus
favorite.
135 Holland, plus 115 MVP.
It's closer than I would have thought. I'm going to go with Holland as well, just because I don't know about MVP. But first fight in, the org, on a third fight on pay-per-view, it's a nice little welcoming party.
Yeah.
And who, of course, steps up then? The guy who fights everybody 17 times a year.
Exactly. Then you have your favorite fight on the card, actually, probably. Poirier versus Benoit Saint-Denis.
I love Benoit, and I don't love the fact that Dustin offered to take this fight. Because it's dangerous. Benoit's very, very good. But I think Dustin, after that KO, hopefully breaks the curse of the guys who get KO'd by Gaethje are never the same. He's getting older. I don't know how many fights he's got left. I wouldn't hate to see a win and a retirement, but I don't think he's going to do that.
I think Benoit's got it in the bag.
That easy?
Yeah.
KO?
Probably. First or second round, if
I would hate to see that. Dustin's still so technical. Benoit's still pretty green. But man, he looks so good. He had that sick head kick in his last fight. Really no flaw in his game. Very well-rounded. Should be a standing banger. But I got to stick with my boy. My favorite fighter of all time. And I think he'll piece him up. I'm going to say win by decision.
Oof.
I don't know if he has the power anymore to land that KO.
He definitely still has the power. Maybe not on Benoit.
Goes quick.
But now,
the main event.
Which I know we don't agree on.
Which shocked me. A lot.
When the undeserving gets a title shot, they tend to overperform.
That is a fair point.
So I'm going Cheeto.
I think we all agree Cheeto, undeserving.
Yeah.
What's his path to victory here?
Aggression. That's it. Literally just Sean Strickland. Be Sean Strickland. That's all you need to do.
Stay on it.
It's the exact same style. That's how Izzy operates. Counterpunching. Stay on your feet. Keep him on his heels. And you know he's going to throw funky punches to get inside of your guard. Switch up your guard a little bit. Keep the jab. Throw hooks occasionally. And just walk him down.
Taking a page out of Chris Matino's book. Constant pressure. Eating shots left and right. Doesn't matter. Shake them
but
off.
don't eat shots.
Sometimes you can't help yourself. If he's going to win, I agree. I think that's the method. Because Sean does lose a lot of that power when he is backing up off his back foot. We saw him hit Matino 200 times. Couldn't knock him out. Testament to Chris, sure. But as a champion now, against your, I don't know, supposed rival.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of this is even legit beef, but he's won me over, but still has some proving to do. And I think you need a KO here against Cheeto to show that you're not just kind of a flash in the pan kind of champ.
But I will say, the irony in all this is if Cheeto wins, I guarantee you Sean gets a rematch.
For sure.
Instant rematch.
Immediate.
Even though every other guy isn't getting instant rematches anymore. Especially if they've never defended the belt.
Yeah, that's your biggest factor there. I know we got the pink gear approved.
Yeah.
Instead of the black and gold champ. So
Which is cool. That's a Sean
unique
thing to do.
Yeah, of course.
But that just shows you the extra step they go to make sure Sean O'Malley's happy.
I don't think Sean knocks him out.
I don't think so either. I think Cheeto wins. And it wouldn't shock me if Cheeto slept Sean. We've never seen Sean
really have to display a chin.
Yeah. Except against Cheeto.
Yeah. Yeah, Jan never touched him. He's got the reach advantage. I think he can keep the distance, but man, I would love to see a Cheeto knockout.
I think that's the worst thing for him.
Yeah.
Because Cheeto is so good at getting inside of your range. That's when he thrives.
Yeah.
So, stylistically, I think Cheeto has it in the bag.
I think it's Sean's a slight favorite.
Minus 275?
Oh, that moved too since last I saw. I think it was like 150 when I checked it.
Yeah, Cheeto's plus 220.
If you're throwing one bet down, I don't hate that. But I am going to take Sean by decision. But I really do kind of like your Cheeto KO call. And you're on a hot streak.
It's juicy.
It is juicy. You're on a juice streak as well.
Hell yeah.
But as long as DP wins, I'll be a happy man regardless. So to sum up, $10 down to win 185. Gamrot, Almeida, Burns, Poirier, and Sugar Sean. Again, we are not professionals. Please do not take our financial advice.
We're not offering financial advice. We're just telling you guys what we're doing.
Correct.
No advice. Don't take that bet. Or do. That's completely up to your discretion.
What do you think Shane's parlay looks like? Firstly, how many does he have?
He's probably got two. And the only thing that he has one fight that's separating.
Different.
Just like he did last time.
Correct.
And it's going to be a fight that's not that kind of like even.
He'll take like RDA on one of them.
Yeah.
I can definitely see that. This is the first I've bet in quite a few months, really.
It was fun with the free bets. But when you start losing your actual money, it's like, this sucks.
Yeah, kind of.
I don't want to do this.
And like, I don't need action to watch games.
No.
Does it make things a little more fun? Sure. Especially, I think UFC, because at any moment, a fight can end. But even then, like, that's reason enough to watch. I don't need to have the risk of winning $7,000 just to have this guy get KO'd.
Or lose $7,000.
Well, if you're losing $7,000, you have a serious gambling problem.
Or you just have the money to spend.
That's also a fair point. Yeah, you see these guys like
Des Bryant.
$100K to win $200K. Yeah, that's easy when you have $100K that you just don't care about.
That you can wipe your ass with.
Exactly. Probably do.
Yeah, that's true.
I would give it a shot.
It'd probably be a lot better than toilet paper. It's pretty sturdy.
Yeah, it's too sturdy, though. I think it's a little
Yeah, but it's also
hard.
soft.
Depending how new the bill is.
Get a nice old bill.
Little dust on there.
Yeah.
Now we're talking. If we ever make $100K that we don't care about.
Anybody got old bills they can send in?
Don't feel obligated, but we'd be happy to conduct a little experiment.
As far as bums of the week goes, we only have one.
Because there should only be one.
Already in March, we have our first bum of the year candidate.
Dare I say bum of the decade?
Could be.
Depending how the next 5 years go.
Depending on exactly.
It's tough to tell what's going to top this.
God, dude, I didn't even think about that. Potentially one day, taking
bum of the decade?
all of 10 of our bums of the year and dropping a bum of the decade.
So we've got Russ was year one, right?
Yeah.
And McDaniels was the year two?
Yes.
He won it, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't even come close to this bum of the year.
No, they don't.
Even combined.
This should be a unanimous bum of the year right now.
Again, our only nomination because it's that bad. The Philadelphia Phillies have discontinued Dollar Dog Night.
That's insane. Why would you do that to your fans?
To baseball. To the world. Nothing made me happier.
We didn't even experience it.
No. We didn't get to eat 9 hot dogs.
We just knew it was happening.
But we saw rabid Philly fans slinging dogs at each other in the 7th inning.
It's a beautiful thing.
You want to take that away from us?
It makes you tear up.
That's America. That's what America's all about.
And it really makes you tear up that they're removing it from us.
If I was a Philly fan, I'd be burning my jersey right now.
If I was a Philly fan, I'm bringing in my own dogs.
Are they going to stop bringing in 2 dozen hot dogs?
Why is that not
Especially
allowed?
if every fan does it.
Why is that not allowed?
They can't stop all of us, right?
Bring them in, boys.
You're going to make it, what, $4 dog night?
A bag full of nice, fresh grilled dogs
It's hot wieners.
from the tailgate you just had. Everybody's
Right
just
outside.
grilling dogs on what was Dollar Dog Night.
Absolutely.
Bring them in.
Take back your team. Take back your city, Philly.
If there's a city that can do it, it's you.
You're so upset about, 1, losing Joel Embiid. 2, the Eagles are trash. And now the Phillies are taking away Dollar Dog Night?
And they're peaking.
And you're going to sit there and just watch it happen?
The Phillies are your only good team left, guys.
Flyers aren't any good. You're going to stand idly by when these communists take away Dollar Dog Night?
Get back the dogs, boys.
Let's go. I might go out there myself. I might lead
Get
this
back
charge.
the dogs.
Let's go.
Are we inciting right now?
Depending what kind of lawyer you ask, that could be. It's all hypothetical, of course.
This is all for the hot dogs only.
It's for entertainment also.
Get your hot dogs back, Philly.
Yeah, you don't have to throw them. Just eat a few,
Eat one more than you were going to eat. Probably 4 more than you were going to do then they're $4 a pop.
And drink water. You got to stay hydrated.
True.
A couple greens, because hot dogs not the best thing for you, and we don't
Exactly.
give
Where's Evan?
bad health
We need
advice.
to get Evan back in here.
Yeah, I left a little early there.
How
What a shame.
do I eat 9 hot dogs in a baseball game and still have a healthy day?
Well, 9 hot dogs plus also 9 beers. The challenge is a beer and a dog per inning.
Oh, that's easy.
For me, it's not.
Really?
Nah, dude.
Well,
With
I
the
guess
pitch clock now,
innings,
too.
innings are quick.
Things are moving quick.
But
Even,
still, roughly how long is an inning?
let's say 10 minutes on average.
I could
Actually,
do-
that's a little short even. If you're factoring in, I think it's 2 minutes between, teams taking the field.
the hardest part would be getting them.
Well, you got to go up early. Yeah, you're prepped. You got all 9 ready.
Or you're going all 9 at once.
Probably 5 and 4. So you're getting your last 4 still fresh.
Yeah.
You don't want 4 cold dogs.
I can go through 5 dogs in the first inning.
in the first inning.
100%.
I know you're an impressive eater.
We have to
but-
go to a baseball game. I'll show you. I'll easily do that challenge, dude. The thing that would stop me is the beer.
Oh, yeah, 9 beers is tough.
That's a lot. Especially if you're doing draft.
3-hour period.
If you're doing draft?
You got to go to the lightest thing. You got to go Bud Light, I feel like.
Yeah, for sure. But I could easily do 9 dogs. Dude, 9 dogs in a baseball game?
I don't think with no time limit, I'm doing 9 dogs.
Dude, I could eat 9 dogs at a backyard cookout in 2 hours.
I do. Yeah, I believe that. You're on a different level. You should challenge Joey Chestnut.
No, I can't eat him that fast.
That grossly.
Yeah, exactly. I like the bun.
You're enjoying your dogs.
Yeah, exactly. But it's 3 bites.
Even for a ballpark dog.
Yeah.
You going ketchup? A little mussy?
Ketchup
You going
mussy for
naked?
sure.
Chili cheese? You going coney dogs?
I don't know if I could do 9 conies.
It's a little much.
In Cincinnati, I could.
They're smaller, but you're getting more calories on there.
Just cheese.
No chili?
No. That's all just fucking
Oh
cheese.
yeah. Too much cheese.
There's a lot of cheese, but I love it.
I like mine melted.
Oh, yeah.
So getting them fresh off at a ballpark, a little much.
Because
But you
cheese is too cold.
Yeah, you pick them up, drive 10 minutes home, and they're nice and melty and just
Yeah.
ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm topping out at 5.
Nah, dude, I could easily crush 9 ballpark dogs.
All right, we'll definitely get tickets to a game here.
I don't think the Blue Jays come to town, so that sucks. But
Nah,
They did
nobody
last
came
year.
last year.
So I don't think they do 2 years in a row.
No, not home and home. We'll probably go to Toronto.
But we could go to a
Doesn't matter
Reds,
who it is.
Yankees,
Yeah.
Reds, whoever. As long as the other team's entertaining, too. Because the Reds are entertaining right now, or should be.
Doesn't matter who the team is. I'm going to watch my boys.
Well, it matters for me. I'd love to see a
Not if you're focusing on your dogs.
Reds Cardinals. Oh, I'm not. That's a second thought, dude. Natural
Not even a
instinct.
thought.
If there's a dog next to me, it's getting eaten, dude. That's just a natural instinct I have.
We'll have to get like seats behind the plate with like a waitress. Be like, ma'am, just keep them coming. Just don't stop.
I need 9 dogs, preferably fresh when I get them.
By the time I'm done finishing a dog, there should be a second one in my hand. And just bring a couple pitchers out here too.
Yeah, the 9 beers, I would probably have to do the dogs. I couldn't go beer and dog.
Same comp, like
I don't
same
think I
time.
could do it at the same time.
That's a lot.
I have to do like 3 dogs, 2 beers. But I don't know how I would work that. The beer's what's going to stop me. Now, if they were
Absolutely.
like bottles, it's different. It's not as much.
There's no specification on the amount. So you could go, yeah, just get a bottle, small bottle. Bud Light,
Cans, I could easily crush a 12-pack of cans and 9 dogs.
cans, you're shotgunning 9 beers
100%.
as you're eating the dog.
I'm yeah, I'm doing the old Glizz beer, dude.
Going glizzy?
I'm drilling through the dog, using it as a straw, then taking the dog down after the
You're
beer's
changing
gone.
the game. You might be done by the 3rd inning.
Yeah, dude.
You could pound some glizzies.
Pound some Glizz
The
beers,
glizzy
dude.
king, dude.
Glizzy goblin.
You've been known to gobble some glizzies. Now, do you prefer day game, night game,
Oh, that doesn't matter.
time of day? You don't have a especially
Well,
hungry
I'm always ready
time
to
of
go
day?
for dogs, dude.
There's not a bad time on the clock.
There's not a bad time for a dog, dude.
And you finish up, you're like, I'm not even full yet. Give me a helmet ice cream sundae just to wash things down.
We got to have one of those.
At least.
It's a staple of the ballpark.
Dippin' Dots,
Dogs and helmets.
can't go wrong there. And you get to keep the helmet.
Exactly. And you get to keep the dogs, too.
Technically,
They rock with you for a
keeping 'em.
while before they come out.
it's a rough next day.
If you just do dogs and some ice cream, nah, dude, that ain't nothing.
Dairy and beer, though,
The beer,
that's a
that
wild
could
card.
present some issues.
That's definitely the wild card.
Like I said, 9 dogs easy. It's 9 beers that
I think we can double team it. You do the dogs,
you'll do the
I'll do
beer.
the beer. I can definitely knock out 9 cans in over a course of a
I can
ball
do
game.
cans.
9 draft.
9 drafts insane.
I'm thinking 5
Tops.
in that time frame at least.
Yeah.
And that's like trying.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I'm not like enjoying my beer. Like we're pounding these down.
I mean, when it's a hot day, you got to pound them down anyways.
Depending where you're at.
But that also depending. If it's too hot, I'm not going to want to eat 9 dogs.
Yeah, we got to go. We got to go.
Nah,
in
actually,
April.
that's probably not true.
There's no bad time for a dog. Is there a bad temperature for a dog
I don't think so.
or a
Because
bad
then you just
setting?
let the dog cool off. Then you get a refreshing dog.
So I think in center field they still have like the sprinklers, like the mist when it's real
Yeah.
hot. You're out there, Hawaiian shirt wide open,
Dogs in
fisting
hand,
dogs.
dude.
You're on top of the world.
Get
right there.
sprinkled on.
That might eclipse the happiest I've ever seen you.
Glizzies in hand, getting sprinkled on, dude.
'Cause I didn't think you could top your first trip to Rodizio's.
I don't know, man.
That was the happiest man I've ever seen in my entire life.
An open Hawaiian shirt with a hot dog in my hand. No matter where I'm at,
There's no better feeling.
I'm stoked.
Open Hawaiian shirt is really all you need.
Also true.
Thank God for our first nice day of the year yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
70, sunny. We both just woke up without communicating, throwing on a Hawaiian.
Absolutely.
That's my entire summer wardrobe.
Yeah, dude, our period's synced up officially.
I think we've been in
We've been close.
a little bit of overlap.
Yeah, now it's starting
when
and
I'm-
stopping
yeah,
at
when
the
I'm
same
ending-
exact time.
You're kind of beginning, but now we're locked in. I'm here for it.
Locked and loaded, buddy. And
Red legs.
bloated.
It's like calling the Red Legs, dude. Let's go.
Locked, loaded, and bloated.
Summer 2024, here we come. I've been working on the 2024 Summer Bash playlist.
Yeah, that does need to happen.
It's going to happen.
I have to buy like a sprinkler or something.
It could be arranged.
Because I want to have a pool. I have to buy like a sprinkler. Unless I can convince my mom to throw the bash at her house.
We didn't use the pool last time, though.
We didn't. It also had a tornado.
Literally a tornado.
Yeah. So, my mom has a pool. I could
Right.
probably use her backyard.
Yeah, cornhole. Who needs pool? You know, it's nice.
Need to get my cornhole boards.
I could. We can hook some up. I've got connections.
Yeah, turn the air off, have the back door open, garage door open, I guess.
Dogs on the grill.
Dogs on the grill, pulled pork just came out of the smoker.
Oh. God, talk dirty to me.
Yeah. We'll schedule it on a weekend that we're off.
Little Alan Jackson on.
Something.
Cool breeze in your nice,
Cool breeze.
your nice open Hawaiian.
Yeah.
The most breathable shirt of all time.
I lost my apron. That sucks. I have to get a new apron.
Your go-to
Yeah.
apron.
I like pig butts. I like pig butts, and I cannot lie. Yeah, I lost that.
Got the spatch still though, right?
I do.
Can't lose that spatch.
I do.
Hey, we got 2 months here to go over the details at least. Let's see. We didn't have a close but no cigar, but we do have a stick pick as usual.
You're up.
Well, shake them up for me then, big dog. I'd say they're well shaken. I'm a little short there. How do you like the new situational setup with you being in the
I like it.
producer's chair?
Yeah, I'm good.
We've got the Plasencia Alma del Fuego. Plasencia, one of my top 5 brands. Phenomenal, a little pricey, but you're getting what you pay for. Never a bad experience. Alma del Fuego, I think, is a dark Maduro, pretty hot, but I'm a big fan. And of course, you can find those at our good friends at Tip Top Smoke Emporium, Casa Aficionado, B&G Cigar Lounge, Stogie's in Huber, and of course, Cigarro up north. Thanks again, Steve Danchies, for the LCAs this month. Final notes on the Steamboat. Loved it. Super dark. Just my ideal kind of cigar. And the local whiskey, give 2 thumbs up.
It's good. Really good.
I want to see how it airs out a little bit. And then Spence gave me her card, and they do a barrel program, partial and full barrels. Maybe one day we get, 50, 75 guys. Maybe pitch it to the OCM, get a barrel there.
Yeah.
I want to at least take a little tour.
That'd be cool.
Again, newer company, local. It's my kind of thing. I believe that'll wrap up episode 77, Cam. Take us home.
You know what we always say? S&S.
To the moon.